want to make sure that like mics are properly set up. Actually, no, I just realized that I did not check that before I went live. Yay. Filters. I don't want filters. Okay, I want it to be the like exterior mic. Okay, we will mess around with that in a minute. I'm going to post the link with my phone, and then I'll figure that out. Anyway, I was looking at when I actually like last streamed, and I hadn't realized that it's been nearly a month. I'm like, well, that's that's a long time to not be streaming. Anyway, we'll get to the new setup here in a second. Actually, streaming time. I have been, so basically what ended up happening is at the end of my last kind of like sewing push, I decided I was playing with the idea. Basically, I decided at that point that it was time to do a full revamp of the sewing studio again. And so that's what we did. It took a while because we did a lot of the work while Dallas was on vacation, and then I ran out of like energy to do it myself. And yeah, basically I ran out of energy. So I did a really good push over the last few days, and now we're here. We're done. Sorry, I'm trying to like do the links and everything like that, and it's just not quite working, but we're only starting soon. It's not like I'm actually started yet. Okay, let's get YouTube loaded here. We're gonna go in here. And also, I apologize, I do sound fairly nasally. Turns out that for some reason I have now developed some sort of allergies or something. I don't know what's up. And the pollen this year has very much bothered me. So, you know, that's always lovely. Okay, so there's the link for Twitch as well, because you can watch me on both YouTube and Twitch. And just, you know, if you wanna. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to respond to Caroline, and we'll get going. Okay, there we go. So, the grand reveal here kind of is that. Alright, so now we're going to see if everything is actually working. Let me know if the mic is working, because I'm hoping it's not picking up the actual webcam mic, which is what you're looking at here. Hello! We have a proper top-down view right now, which is awesome. And I am seeing that it is a little bit loud. So let's just see if remove, rename. Oh, I see. Here we go. I don't want the alert box to do anything, and I want this to actually be the external microphone. So that should actually be the lav mic on me now. So, good. All right, so what we're going to work on today is actually I'm just kidding. Knit City just posted the vendor links for everyone, and they forgot me on the list. So I want to make sure that we have that up as well. I love Knit City, and I think what they have is they just have me under Nekozuki Knits instead of Atelier Nekozuki. So I'm just going to message them on here. There we go. So what we're going to do is this really cute little mini traveler pouch that Can Do Crafts has put out. And what it is, oh yeah, you are totally, I think, getting sound from the new camera. Should have tested this out when I was actually like, there we go. Let's mute that one, I think. Okay, so no, the mic aux is actually me. Okay, good. Which also means though that this is like really jumpy. All right, weird. There we go, that looks better. It's not like spiking into the red right now, which is what I don't want to be doing. All right, I'm gonna actually move you over here because that will fold out and we'll be good. Anyway, so Can Do Crafts has brought out this really cute new little like mini traveler pouch. Yeah, mini traveler pouch, and it's a really cute little one that we're going to actually use I've got denim from another maker that actually is like an upcycle thing from her jorts. She makes jean shorts. And I've like had plans to make stuff with these like jeans for a really long time. And the plans that I came through, I was no longer interested in actually making them. So here we are. And I just realized I need some tape, and all the tape is out in the cutting studio, because of course it would be out in the cutting studio. So give me 1 second, I'll be right back. I'll turn you to intermission so you can actually see my background. Whee! There we go. I moved the Noran down here. Cha-Cha Maru is up here, so that's super awesome. We've got all the nice fabric here, and I'll be right back. Dallas said I should do a like Noran of like, or the intro to my channel now should be like me coming through the Noran like wham. So that's kind of what I just did as I was coming in. You couldn't hear me obviously because the mic was off, but you know, you got it in spirit. All right, so I do have some washi here, and we'll just leave this washi in here now. So obviously we did this whole reorganization. This room is much better. So I did take I'll take you on a tour. But the rundown was that last year I set up this room for the cutting studio, and then like we only moved in 2 years ago, and the business has shifted again to just needing like to be more streamlined, blah, 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 blah. Originally when we moved in, this was also going to remain a room, for a guest room. A, we never tidied it up enough for anyone to stay here, and B, the majority of our friends are actually allergic to cats. So no one's actually going to stay with us. And if they do, actually now we have even more room to set up a blow-up bed. But so I was like, you know what, last summer, almost exactly a year ago, I moved the cutting table and like tidied up the room and moved the cutting table into here. And then it's just like you have to settle into a space to really figure out like what's going to work the best. So I had a shelf with obi underneath the window here, storing them just in the room. That had to move before I brought the cutting table in, so it moved into the closet. And then if you were watching a few weeks ago, month ago, you would have seen that I was like, I should move the obi or the shelf out of the closet and hang the obi on the closet rod, which is what we did now. The calyx that I had in there is officially 100% destroyed. It's still usable as it is right now, but like it's done. It's sitting in its final spot. It's If it has to come apart again, it's just basically we'll take it apart and it will be the side pieces are perfectly fine, but like the shells and stuff like that are just, they're done. There is no salvaging it anymore. Anyway, so there's that one, and then so we moved the stuff into the closet, which actually worked really well. Put the steam press in there too, which is amazing. Okay, and I'm gonna have to get used to actually where my camera view is now. I think I might have to get, actually, we're gonna turn the bobbin count off right now because we're not actually sewing. There we go, let's turn off the, and then you can actually see more of my sewing desk. We'll bring the bobbin count back when I actually start sewing again. Don't worry, it will come back. Okay, there we go. So anyway, so now we're like, yeah, now we're in the space. Now is gonna be the test of like, what is stuff where it actually needs to be. So obviously my shelves are set up well enough for me. I'm happy with how they're going. But it's like, what do I need to bring in to actually organize and make my space usable? Blah, 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 blah. All that fun stuff, which is like, ugh. I want you to close it. I want you to open. I don't want you in my dock anymore. Ugh, what is going on? No. I want you close. Okay, fine, whatever. Check in to make sure. Okay. Doesn't look like there. Oh, that's because not you and I'm viewing it. Alright, here we are. Hello. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat. Again, only 85% chaos today because at least it's tidy. I can't guarantee that there won't be more. Okay, I am trying to track down the sewing pattern. That is what I'm actually trying to do. I'm like, where'd the sewing pattern go? Uh-oh. It might not actually be on the computer. It might be on my... Oh, yeah. Okay. So I gotta log in and get it off of the Etsy's website. Okay. Etsy.com. Just because I need the actual instructions for it. The other nice thing about this is now that we actually I have a webcam up here. Again, that is what's giving us this top-down view. It means I have my phone back. So if anyone's like messaging me or trying to call while I'm on stream, I can actually answer it. Okay, there's the instructions. That's all I need because I already had the template. Obviously, because I already cut it out. We're ready to go. Okay, so what does it say here? So we're going to be using the... Actually, what I should do is I should grab the blah-de-blahs stuff. Okay, there we go. So we've got denim, and then we'll be using whatever's suggested for the rest of it. Okay, exterior fabric, and then I have that nice cotton webbing, and we'll use the cotton webbing for the strap. Although now that I'm looking over there, I'm like, where did I put the cotton webbing? I see all my polypropylene webbing. Oh well, we'll deal with that in a minute. This does not take a lot of like fabric. Okay, so what I need to find, okay, so this is called exterior fabric and it needs fusible woven interfacing. Also just want to make sure that I haven't lost any pieces because I cut this out upstairs and it's like, The back pocket lining. Okay, that's easy enough. The mid front and the front zipper pocket. Oh, I see. Okay. Yep. This is the lining. The lining. Ooh. Mid front. Okay, I think it looks like I'm missing one piece. Okay, so I'm gonna have to download the extra piece of this. And this is why it's 85% chaos. Not fully chaos free right now. Oh, but okay, so the one thing we didn't do is we moved the printer all the way upstairs, which whoop-de-doo. Well, not all the way upstairs, it's one floor above me, but I'm gonna just double check the pieces. Let's see what she wants me to do about this. Templates. Yeah, I'm missing the, no. Okay, I'm missing upper front and lower front. I wonder if they are over here. And I'm just like, didn't pick everything up when I actually picked up those pieces. Let's grab this. that. Oh, okay, 1 second. That's gonna have to actually pop back in, and that will be super annoying to listen to. Where's the program? There it is. Alright, I'm going to try and avoid going upstairs if I can, but if I can't, then, well, I'll suck it up, whatever. There it is, I think. No. Those are the pieces for the NCW, which is not it. This is the slip pocket lining, which is important. Back zipper. Okay, so this is for the front, which now it probably should take a little bit of an iron or something. Okay, it doesn't look like it's here, and even if it is, it's probably all folded up and gross. Okay. So I think in this, oh, is that it? No, that's NCW as well. Yeah, that's the mini and the large NCWs. Okay. Well, that was a fail. Okay, so let's see. So I said that I need to print the manamanas, which are the... Okay, so I've got the back panel, one, and I've got the slip pocket lining, which is... It'll be fine. I can make that work still. I just need page 1, it looks like. Yeah, there it is. Okay, sweet. Page 1, or page 2. Range from 2 to 2. And scale at 100%. Don't scale to fit. Thank you. Print. Alright, because then the other pieces I have the mid front. Yes, I have them. Okay, so that was that one. Mid front. Front zipper pocket, slip pocket lining, back panel A and A, so 1 and 2, and then this piece, which is the back zipper pocket lining. Okay, so I've got all the pieces. And then what does she suggest? It's like exterior lining interfacing. Okay, very light interfacing. Zipper tape by the yard, number 5. Okay. 1-inch webbing for the crossbody strap. Cool, I got that. D-rings, damn it. Optional. Okay, I've been seeing people do these both with and without the front snap, so I'm going to try both as well. Okay. I think we're good. I think I got what I need. It doesn't take a lot of fabric, so that's nice. And if you're like, Katie, you've got a bunch of kato to sew, I know. We're not going to discuss it. We're just going to ignore that. Now the question becomes, what do we want as the front? So the main part of the bag is going to be, like I said earlier, denim. There we go. Like, I really don't need that chair there right now. So the main part, so this is what I got as, basically we'll be upcycling these, like I said, the offcuts from the jorts. So probably what I'll do is I'll go in and, can I just like, same as my obi? Or are these actually serged? Oh, they're serged together. Okay, so we're just going to ignore that and we'll just make them as flat as possible. Go like that, and then so like this will be the main body, and actually I think if I cut it correctly I can get like 1 to 1.5. Actually, it looks like I'll be able to get 2 backings from this because we won't be able to use the hem. That's fine, but I'll be able to use everything else in between the seams here, which is awesome. Oh yeah, there's a lot of fabric. And then this can be the mid front, or not the mid front, but there needs to be a match to this because this is the mid front. That'll be the Japanese fabric. Matches up like that. And then this will also be denim down here. So there's not a lot of denim down here, and then this is also denim up here. So those pieces can both come out of like this section here, which is going to be super fun. Sorry, I'm going to go in and also get Twitch open for me too, because I at one point did not have my chat actually come through, and now I'm paranoid that it will continue to not come through. Sweet. No chats. That's good. Wow. That means I haven't missed anything is why that's good. Okay. And actually I just realized that the next market is no longer the kimono market. We are well and truly past that. So let's put the next market in. Yay. So I'm at a crochet retreat on June 22nd. And then I am at the Ancient Arts Yarns Pancake Breakfast. July 13th. And the full details of all of these are going to be going out in the newsletter, and they're also already posted to Instagram. And just as a heads up, I cannot make that any smaller, so I wonder if it will scroll. Or word wrap. Let's try that. I can't remember how I actually got to scroll last time. Okay, well then we're just going to take next event out, because that will clear that up, and then you'll be able to actually read it. By the way, if you are joining me for the first time, my name is Katie. This is the Atelier Nekozuki live stream. And what I do here is I make bags from Japanese fabrics that I hand select in Kyoto and Tokyo. If you've joined me in the past and you've heard that spiel, thank you so much for coming back. You know perfectly well how chaotic this can get. Now, the big question I'm having is, it's like, okay, so I'm going to work with this nice denim here to begin with, but what should we pair with it for fabric? These were out because I needed to do a color test with the camera and make sure that things were looking at least halfway decent, and they were. What should we use? I don't really want to use any of them. I could use the Sushineko. That would look pretty cute. Or we could cut into something else that's like completely new. Okay, let me consider that. I'm gonna go get those last couple pieces that are actually printed out now, and then I think maybe we gotta get a cat print. Like, that is the whole thing about this business, right? I just don't know which cat print. So give me a moment. I'll go get the rest of the pieces for this from the printer, and then I'll be back again. All right, so the sound effect you should always imagine when I come in and I do that like hand wave when I'm coming in the Norin is wabam, because there is no other sound effect you can make when walking through that curtain. Okay, let's make sure that it's printed correctly, especially since it's not printed on the same day. We're good. Okay. And then I should have my little X-Acto knife, which is the easiest way to actually cut these corners, typically. Sometimes I have an off day. All right, I still haven't decided what we're going to use for fabric for this. The other thing that popped into my head that I will probably also, okay, we'll backtrack a little bit there. These are they're called the mini traveler sling. So they are intended for like carrying a like passport, phone, probably a little bit of cash. They're a crossbody bag to wear on the front, your front. But also just super cute as like a crossbody bag. But they are intended as like a mini travel, like a traveler sling. So my thought process is I should also be bringing in some luggage. Actually handles for suitcases and stuff like that. I have some from another maker that were absolutely amazing. I still use them, but as far as I can tell, they no longer make them. And it'll be another scrapbuster project. So I'll probably cut a few of those out as well. I just realized that the denim, like any of the excess denim from these cuts, can actually go towards being the backing for that project actually. So because if you've been watching for a while, you all know I have more scraps than is good for me. They are all contained within a box right now, at least, or a few boxes. It was like 13 by 13 drona for the calyx. Because I was just like, I'm just going to put these all together, and that is something that will not be dealt with right now, but can be dealt with later. Now, I think by later, I do mean probably in the wintertime, when like I'm in between running, training, and show season, and all of that. So, oh, and if you've been around for a while, I did get my sub 3 for my half in Calgary, which was super exciting. The goal was sub 3. I got 2:59.25. Can't get much closer than that, that's for damn sure. So there's always but I got sub 3 and I was very happy. I'm very pleased with that. Nice. I'm going to be able to get 2 full mini travelers out of this for sure, but I will not be able to get a backing for the luggage handle. That's fine. This is not a lot of fabric left over, to be honest. It's like 3 inches. So that can go in. That can go into the scrap bin. That's fine. Okay, seriously, what are we going to use for the inaugural run of this? Actually, I should grab some of the older fabric that wasn't as popular. It's perfectly good fabric. It's just that never really sold well. So it's also like, should I do that, or should I grab something else that is like a guaranteed sell pretty much, no matter what I do with it? Or do I go super bright and we use one of the fat quarters? I don't know why I didn't think of this before I was like standing here. Okay, I'm gonna pull a few options and then you can weigh in if you want to. Yeah, let's pull a few options and I'll weigh in. Okay, I'm in a bit of trouble now because it's like these are the half cuts from the small box bag. Okay, when I cut the small box bags, I cut both sides of the fabric, selvage to selvage, because that's easiest. In the past, I would make 2 small box bags. Awesome, cool. But I did find that I got bored of doing that very rapidly. So last year I found an eyeglass case. That's what this is for. It's a stabilizer from the like eyeglass case pattern. I was like, sweet, this will go in like one of the halves of the back cut of the small box bag. So from the small box bag cut now, I also get an eyeglass case. This one's already sold. So I could make another eyeglass case out of it, or it can be used for the front of this mini traveler. And now I'm in trouble because I have a buttload of really good fabrics that would work for this. I'm like, do we lean all into like the cats, or do we go a bit more demure and do like sakura blossoms? And then I could actually take the back half of this and make an eyeglass case from that. Not right now because I need lining fabric. Oh crap, I don't know if I've got lining fabric. Oh, I do. We're good. Okay, I got stuff back there I can use. Actually, I got some really good options back there. Okay, I think I want to do this from this sakura. I think we should do 2 because I really want to make one from this. Like, I found out what this pattern is called, and it's called a Segahai. Segaiha, which is the wave pattern in the back, and then there's these little sneaky cats in there. Oh my goodness, this camera is so good, even versus my like phone. And like I said, it eliminates the factor of like if they need to message me from the school or something like that, I can't answer because I'm like using my phone to live stream. Anyway, it looks really good. So I think we should do, yeah, so let's cut this one to make a small box bag, a mini traveler, and an eyeglass case. I might just cut out the mini traveler bit of it and the eyeglass case and not worry about the rest of it until later. Then I also have this, which I did intend for like wallets and stuff like that. It's a really gorgeous print. It's very delicate. And I think that would also make a really good mini traveler as well. So we're going to pop it back there for now. I will probably go through that eyeglass case set of cuts because here's the thing. The eyeglass cases are a little bit of a pain in the butt for directional fabrics. So like black cat here. Ooh, that is washing out on my screen. Let me see what it looks like actually on my stream here on YouTube. 1 second. I know, oh yeah, it's not looking quite as bad. It is definitely a little bit overexposed. This is a lot more, there's a lot less white than that camera is picking up right now. I wonder what would happen if I took a light out. Anyway, the eyeglass cases are a little bit of a pain in the butt with these like directional prints. So this would actually work better for the mini traveler because I wouldn't have to like finagle it. And honestly, I think the mini traveler also is, yeah, we'd be able to get quite a bit of the actual print on the mini traveler as well. Anyway, those will be concerns for later. We're going to use this one. I do also have, oh, that's a lot. Never mind. I thought this was less fabric. Oh, right. I was going to also experiment with a pattern for a for something else. Anyway, so we can do that with these. Okay. So this one's going to become a blah, blah, blah. This one's going to become the other blah, blah. Mini travelers, and then this is also going to make an eyeglass case cut, and then I'm going to grab one of the big bag or 2 of the big bag cuts from underneath, and we're going to make the old big bag cuts, not the new big bag cuts, and we're going to make a style that I saw in Japan last year, and then YouTube actually recommended the pattern to me. Oh, I just realized that I really go off screen there. Okay, we're still experimenting with where my boundaries are for this job, so I'm better over here. Okay, so further away from the closet, that's fine because the closet is like detrimental to everything. Anyway, okay, so let's cut this to begin with. Oh, and I apologize. I got hit I've been hit hard by the pollen this year, of all things, of course. And so I think I'm sounding a little bit more nasally than typical, but, you know, live and learn. I'm like, ugh. I'm not sick, that's the thing. Or at least I don't feel sick, so I don't think I'm sick. And the thing about it is it's just kind of stayed the same. Like, it hasn't gotten worse like you would normally expect, like being sick too, and it hasn't gotten better like you would normally expect getting sick would do. But, you know, whatever. Rotary blades need to come and live in here. Actually, I think they're on... Yes, I see them. Okay, so I've got, like, the nice thing actually about the whole shuffling of the room this time is that the majority of what we didn't cost us anything, because I didn't have to get new shelves and I didn't have to do like new things. I think it cost us $12 for a new set of supports in the closet, which we only had to buy because we could not for the life of us find the one that got taken out. So now we got some extra supports. No big deal. And then the camera. The camera was a big expense, but because I had saved money on like not having to buy actual like equipment or like, I guess, storage stuff, it's like, it's quite nice, to be honest. No. Okay, well that just wrecked the whole wedge. Small box bag cut template. Okay, and 100% did not cut the fabric because of course I was also trimming through paper. Excellent. Okay, let's do that again. Let's try this again. Also, to everyone who came out to the last few events, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The Japanese community, which was the NJCA kimono market, has been extremely welcoming, and for that I am so grateful. Most of the craft communities have been really good, but there's been the occasional time where it's just like, oh my goodness, the vibe of it. It hasn't passed the vibe check. But the Japanese community and their welcoming spirit has been absolutely spectacular. So thank you so much for that. And then I did do a pop-up with Strawberry Boots, who has been the person who has basically made sure that I've been involved in that community now, which has been absolutely amazing. And now we're heading into, I have a crochet retreat. The details of that are on the Instagram. And then I have the pancake breakfast with Ancient Arts Yarns. I did get accepted into Omatsuri. There was a little bit of doubt if I would or not, because they had put in a thing of like, it's mandatory that you're there for the night market. And I'm like, I cannot do the night market. At least not for the next few years. Like, I would love to do the night market. This has got like a perfect thing for me to be able to line this up so I can mostly center these flowers. So basically the sakura here, I need to see if I can bring that arm out a little bit more, because this is going to be a learning curve for where to place the fabric. Anyway, and see if I can actually flip the picture, like, yeah, in your top-down view, you understand, I think. Anyway, so those lines in the middle here, which are the centering lines, I can use to pretty much center on the flower here. Sweet. So yeah, so I've got the crochet retreat, which is a retreat, but then it is also open to the public. And the exact details are with Crafty Anna Marie on Instagram or Facebook, as far as I can tell, and ELA Creative. They both have all the details, and if I knew them off the top of my head, I would provide them. I will figure them out before I come on stream next time. And then the pancake breakfast, again, I don't have hours right now. It's like, I know it's July 13th. That's the most I know. Omatsuri, I will be there on August 10th. And then Knit City, Calgary, which is the week after Omatsuri. Because, you know, why not? Is August 17th and 18th for the vendor hall. And then there will be events all around that for shenaniganing. Okay. I know that this is definitely a slower way to cut these, but we're going to go with the slower way to cut these because I don't want to, yeah, we're not going to mess with this right now. We're going to keep this as true to pattern as possible, even though I typically do go completely not on the pattern. I'm still subbing my interfacings and stuff though, because I've got the stuff that's like basically the dupes of what is recommended. So we'll do that, and then we'll go see what I have in my number 5 zipper stash for these guys. This one will definitely be a black with gold, and then I don't know what this will be. Maybe probably the black with gold as well, just because the background of this red fabric is very, 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 very warm. Eek. Oh yeah, I'm going to need to bring my pattern weights over. That's what we'll need next, because and I need my shears. Where did they go? What the heck? I'll probably put them on the shelves. Shears would make this easier. Tidy everything up, and then I don't know where my shears are. Of course. Did we end up on here? Hello. Oh my goodness. No, those are just patterns. So the other thing I will be doing is I am actually going to clip and hang all those patterns in the closet as well, because I was like, well, that's a really good way to actually store my patterns. Where did they go? They might be on that shelf back there, which is also in a state of dishevelment, but we'll deal with that later. Okay, well, and the other little scissors are way too far away without unclipping. All right, lovely, perfect. Okay, so I need a rotary blade. And I need a, my weights, and I need to find my shears. Lovely. Oh, good Lord. Okay, so that actually places it pretty much right in the middle. I am going to use this as like the pattern weight this time, because this is pretty much a straight cut, and I do need to straight cut the bottom as well. There we go. I'm going to go around. This is where shears would be helpful. Isn't that terrible though? Like, I don't know how many people this happens to, but it's like every time I tidy up, I swear, I never know where to find anything for like 2 to 3 days. And then it becomes slightly disheveled because it's just like, well, it is a working studio. Right? Like, there's no way for me to get around the fact that this has to remain a working space. It's like, so. Anyway, I do have one more like pegboard right here that will get hung up when Dallas is home next. I don't know where the actual like bar for it is, because I've had it like zip tied to the shelf, the metal shelf that was out in the sewing studio, and so it'll get moved or hung later once we actually have all the bits and pieces for it. I did order them today, so they should be here when he's home and can do that, and then that's where all the like shears and everything will get hung once I actually have it done. Okay. Pattern weights. I see the pattern weights. Let's see. Oh no, we're gonna have to unclip. Oh, well, fancy. Okay, so I'm going to need to get the tool hangers for those ones. Scattis is not set up in any way, shape, or form yet because it's just like I just put stuff on there that was excess from the sewing studio basically because I was like, okay, what can go in here that I need, blah, 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 blah. Actually, does my rotary? No, my rotary cutter does not fit through the tool holder, so that's good to know. At least not the 45. The 28 probably does. Okay. If you're wondering where my pattern weights came from, they are washers from Home Hardware. Although I rarely purchase anything in Home Hardware anymore because they... oh, interesting. They, one of the times I went to actually, like, get stuff from them, I was like, I want pegboard. And I called it, I think, 8x4 pegboard, or 4x8 pegboard. 8x4. I flipped the measurements. It is supposed to be 4x8 pegboard. But he got really snarky with me. I was like, well, we only have 4x8 pegboard. I'm like, dude, it's the same square footage. And if you hadn't been so damn snarky with me, I would have purchased it right then and there. And so instead, I went and I bought it from IKEA. Probably a bit more of expense. The pegboard would be better. Pegboard has a lot more options and like flexibility. Scattis, however, came with no snark. So let this be your lesson. I will do this. It's just like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. It's like, are you gonna, well, okay, you're gonna sell me a 4x8 pegboard or 8x4 pegboard? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, these do come from Home Hardware because they are the local hardware store. Use your local hardware store of choice. Preferably a local hardware store. Ooh, spicy because the hem is there. Okay. So let's... And why it's spicy is because basically it's not like folding down flat. So I'll just trim that so it flares a little bit. Basically all I need to do is put this here, put that there, and then we can just, all I want to do right now is I just want to trim the hem off. I am going to need a new rotor cutter before I do that though, because this is, of course, got this, oh. Actually, the better way to do this would be to cut down the sides. I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. Righto. Learning curve. Let's just chop the hem off with my shears. We will leave a little bit more room between the hem and the cut next time, because that is a lot of, like, it's really thick. Okay. And it's just a pain in the butt. Okay, and then line this up a little bit nicer here. Everything is nice and weighted down. Like that. Ding, 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 ding. We're just going to use all the pattern weights because this shouldn't move now. Hopefully. Maybe. Who knows? We can hope. Actually, this is a good use for the chalk pen. But now that I've started, we'll just cut this one. And remember that this is a good use for the chalk pen for future cuts. Okay. I'm really excited to be able to use this, like, denim, finally. She also gave me some funky floral denim, which I'm super excited about. So, watch for that. And also, if you want to buy any jorts, this is from Janaea Jewelry, or Bird's Eye Vintage, I think is what she sells her vintage clothing under. Janaea. We've done markets pre-2020, which was super fun, back when I was pregnant with my first. And we always kind of jive pretty good. We were both at Maker's Market at Stampede the first year they did it, so that was fun. Ugh. 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 Gross. Okay. Next time. Cut. Ugh. Okay. Can you tell I don't work with denim very often? Next time, trim the seams out. That's what that means. All those cat problem moanings are because I should have trimmed out the seams. So I think we'll trim out the seams for the, like, little cuts here. Also, I was thinking that I was going to be going back to Japan in the fall. Super excited about it. Blah, 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 blah. But turns out that I probably won't be. We've decided I won't be. And you would think, okay, because you can't afford it. No, actually. It's all coming together really well for that. Although that's still a factor in, like, I wasn't really making the decision until August because that's when I could actually book hotels at Hirakashi, blah, blah, blah. But no, Natsumi of Day Day House, who makes the little cat charms and everything like that, and actually the main reason that I was planning to go back to Japan was to buy charms from her, can't take on any custom orders right now. Or she can, but they'll be, they won't be finished till spring now. That's how busy she's gotten, which is so good. I am so excited for her. And so I will be going back to Japan between June and July next year. I will try my best for June, depending on how this crochet retreat goes. Hopefully it goes extremely well, and if it does, then I will be going in July. Will I die from the heat? I guess we'll find out. Anyway, but yeah, I am a little bit sad that I won't be able to go back this year. That little selfish part of me, right? But I'm so excited that it's going really well for her. But I think, well, what I need to do now is I need to actually go through and make my decisions for what I need on the order and figure it out. And then I've also got to time it based on, like, when we are going to be going back with the kids. So I think I'll kind of have, like, oh yeah, this could be cute. I'm going to have, like, kind of 2 brackets. It's like, this is what I absolutely 100% need, and or like, this is what I want. Get what you can done, and if we don't get something done, then we'll roll it over to, like, when I return sort of thing. I'm not too worried about it. She'll do an amazing job, and I don't want to rush it either. So anyway, I was like, oh, but I want to go back to Japan in November. Although I was looking at the cost of going in July this year, and it was cheaper than going in November, to Kyoto at least. So I was like, okay. Like, the hotel that I couldn't stay in last year with Caroline because it was like, or at least I didn't want to spend the money on it. It's like, I want to spend my money on the experiences, not the hotel, especially for staying for 10 nights. It was restrictive. Worth it, but restrictive. And it was, like, back down to, like, $100 to $150. And I'm like, what is going on in July? Because I would think that it's, like, peak tourist season. And apparently it's like, yeah, whatever. Okay. $100 to $150 is still pretty expensive. I can definitely get cheaper hotels. But I'm like, for the location and the premium style of that hotel, I cannot beat that price. So I don't know what I would do. I may splurge a little bit for that one if that happens. But anyway, so no more trip in November. There will be a trip next summer at some point, and then return with the kids in like February of 26 is the current plan. Sometime before the eldest turns 6 in 26, because then we don't have to pay for seats on the Shinkansen and bullet trains for them. So, if they're lap sitting. If we find out that it's like, oh my goodness, this was a terrible idea, I don't think we're going to be doing a JR pass or anything like that, because the price of it has gotten ridiculous. Like, unless you're, like, using it to basically take a trip, like multiple Shinkansen halfway across Japan trips, it's not worth it for us. The other thing actually though is if I do go in July next year, it looks like Air Canada actually offers a direct flight into Kansai. So it goes Calgary, Vancouver, Vancouver, Kansai, and I think that would be really nice. So the debate becomes, because WestJet's also running direct flights to Narita, and then I wouldn't have to do customs in Vancouver, which is always nicer. Vancouver's been fine recently, but Calgary's just easier. And so it's like, do I fly direct to Tokyo and then take the Shinkansen down, which is what I normally do? Or do I fly direct to Kansai and then just take the train into Kansai? And then this trip would actually be better for like, I'll definitely be doing like a cotton and cotton linen blend trip to, or like purchasing as well. So it's like, do I go to Tokyo to go to Tomato, or do I just stay in Kansai and just do Nomura and like Uzumaya, which is the chain? Whole different trip. Completely different trip. So, hello. Okay. All right, so now we need to cut interfacings. And we need to cut, oh no, we're good. Okay, sweet. Blah. Sorry. I just had a moment of like, don't I need to line this whole thing? But no, we don't. And then I had a momentary panic because I'm like, no, we're good. Okay, because I was like, sorry, my brain is like, this is a different construction than I'm used to. It doesn't need to be lined. Well, it doesn't need to be fully lined. It needs a back pocket lining, and it needs the slip pocket lining. And for some reason, I need 2 lining fabrics for that. Oh, I see, because the construction, yeah, okay, because of the construction of this. No, I don't see why. I'm so confused right now. Okay, so this is the front zipper pocket lining. Okay, whatever, let's just follow. Okay, so I have cut the exterior fabrics for the back panel and the upper front and the lower front. These just need interfacing. This just needs interfacing. Okay, so this exterior, actually I'm going to make a note on this. This exterior fabric is actually the Japanese fabric. And then these pieces are the denim, or like, yeah, denim. I'm just going to put it in quotation marks because realistically, if I'm starting to work with the waxed canvas and stuff like that, the waxed canvas or canvas would be like waxed canvas. I'm just going to put notes on what it could actually be, or even just the canvas. Waxed canvas, canvas. Anyway, so what we're planning is, what the trajectory now looks like is I will go in June or July next year. I really want this crochet retreat to go well. So June, like I said, I'm leaning now more towards July. This is ridiculous though. So it's like, anyway, but June would be nice because it would also be my birthday, literally over my birthday. This is cotton lining. But I am leaning towards July because it just actually falls better in the whole scheme of everything for like everything, to be honest. So I don't know what we're going to do exactly. Okay, so this needs to be lining. I'm just going to like, need a highlighter. Lining fabric. And 2 pieces. Okay, and then these all need to be interfaced as well. Okay. 2 times lining fabric. Mirrored. Okay, so that it does take a lot of lining fabric. I wonder if I should actually then, okay, let me look at the construction, because the factor in this then is I could actually take the other side of that cut and put it to the back of the bag so you would see it, and then the other side of it, no, that's too complicated. Like, I could do part in like North American fabric and part in Japanese fabric, but that just sounded so complicated explaining it that we're not going to do that. Okay, so what do we have? We've got like a red and we've got this white and black one. So I've got a speckle back here that will work. I've got a nice pink Segai Ha, like a North American Segai Ha. Segai Ha. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. I've got to practice it more. Or I have the confetti. Let's use the confetti. Okay, let me go grab the actual lining fabric. 1 second. I'll chat with you about that in a second, Andrea. Okay. So yes, I have actually price checked. But so my I don't like flying into Toronto. That's my biggest thing about it. Toronto airport is like no. If I can avoid, I will pay extra to avoid Toronto. I'm sorry. It's definitely gotten better since they did the construction on it, but like Vancouver's already bad enough flying in for customs. I can't imagine flying in with like commercial customs into Toronto and having to do commercial customs in Toronto. The other factor in this is that I'm pretty sure most of the flights, well, first I would basically have to fly east to Toronto, and then I'd have to fly west to Japan again, right? So it's like, may as well just fly through Vancouver. It's not a big deal. Although the other ridiculous part of this, as I've discussed before, is the fact that the Air Canada does do a direct flight from Toronto to Narita, and it was the one that used to stop in Calgary, and then they stopped servicing that route. It still flies from Toronto though, so I'm slightly peeved about that still too. But anyway, I think the big thing would be actually doing like commercial customs in Toronto. It's already, like I said, bad enough in Vancouver. It is definitely an option, and if it was like a significant price savings, I would 100% do it. But considering that like going Calgary, Vancouver, Tokyo, or like Vancouver, Japan, basically, in any way, shape, or form is just easiest for me, I'm not too worried about it. Also, yes, the one that we did see yesterday was like, okay, lining fabric mirrored. So if I cut one this way, then the one in the back will be mirrored. Okay, we're good. Nice. That's a really nice, like, cut line that all of those line up. But anyway, I think they do also do direct flights from Montreal as well. But again, the same issue of like, I would have to fly east to fly east. So it's not an efficient use of my time. I guess that's, yeah, so the efficient use of time, and then also just like the whole customs factor of flying back into Toronto or Montreal. So, and honestly, the cost, I saw, okay, WestJet has now started doing direct flights year-round to Tokyo, which is amazing. But when I'm looking at Air Miles flights, the like taxes and fees on it are the same price as flying to Kansai, so that's why I'm leaning towards flying to Kansai, because I don't want to pay for a flight. Although the flight that I saw through freaking WestJet the other day was like $875 direct return, which is a price I have never seen for a flight to Japan. I was like, oh my god, I wish I was. Now I would do. Yeah, when you're considering that you're already paying, like with Air Miles, you have to pay for the fees and taxes. And that's like, I think it was turning out to be $780 in November or whatever. Anyway, I'm excited about the potential for an actual direct, just straight. Oh, I need to actually cut two of these because we've got two of these bags. Anyway, I'm excited about the potential for a direct flight to Kansai. That was not something that was actually available, I don't think, when I was flying for my exchange, because I flew through Tokyo. So I'm really excited to see what kind of like service that is. I think it's still Air Canada, or it might be ANA. The one I had to laugh at is everyone complains about Narita. I do not have an issue with Narita typically, or at least I haven't yet. They're like, Haneda is so much better. But you look at flying to Haneda from Calgary, and it's like, you lay over in Vancouver again. Whatever, not a big deal. So WestJet flies direct into Narita. Narita is like the big, very well-known international terminal. But Haneda is the other one, and it's basically like right downtown Tokyo. It's like a half-hour transit into the airport versus like an hour or more. And I think it's just like, and also I think it is less serviced, so you have less foreigners transiting through. I feel like Narita is a little bit more of a gateway. Oh, although that is a good point. I wonder, because we're planning to go in February, I wonder if flying into Haneda at that point would be cheaper. Because I know flying down to Osaka is cheaper at that point because you're not transiting through for Lunar New Year. I wonder if the same thing applies for like for Haneda. Anyway, right now, however, if you look at flights into Haneda, it's like $5,300 one way. And I'm like, I can get business class for cheaper flying into like Narita. So I was like, nope, and not. Also, I've heard that the food at Narita is actually better anyway, so you know. All good. I'll win on one end or the other. Kansai would be nice because it's more the debate at that point of like whether I go in and do, like I said, Tomato, or if I just ignore Tomato and we just do Nomoda. So we'll see. I still don't know. Okay, we're going to cut these, and then I'm going to grab that fabric again, and we'll cut the other lining fabrics, and then we'll get the interfacing done, and then I am going to grab hands, apparently. And then I'm going to grab some scrap fabric, and we're going, hi cat, and we're going to do the luggage handle thing. There we go. Them's the words. Somewhere. They were somewhere. And like I said, I don't think there's enough fabric. No, we don't have a lot of fabric here at all. Sweet. So out of that leg, that is what's left over. And that can 100% go towards the amigurumi scrap pile. Sweet. Okay. Yeah. No, but the main reason that I'm not going now is it's like Natsumi's too busy to actually fulfill an order by November. So we'll see what happens for next year now. Honestly, it's probably better to go next year anyway because I have a feeling that it might be a little bit... No, that's a lie. I'm like, it might be quieter, but never mind. It probably won't be. That's fine. I'm also going to like one of the highest touristed areas in Japan, so I'm not concerned. It's like, yes, it's going to be busy, but I also know I worked in tourism. It's like, yeah. Now, hopefully the other factor of this is that the yen stays, well, for my sake, I hope the yen stays, like, actually, now that I know that I am going to be not going until next summer, I should actually order some yen from the bank while we're still at, like, decent exchange rate, at least for the amount that Natsumi would be. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll get my order in with Natsumi and get her to get me the bill, and then I will order that money from the bank. That's what we'll do. And then I can and then that at least takes advantage of the, hey, don't you play with it. Not for kitty cats. Anyway, that will take advantage of the dollar being above par with the yen. When I say above par, it's so $1 Canadian typically translates to about 100 yen US, and that's pretty good. Exchange rate right now, we're getting an exchange rate of plus 15%, so $1 right now exchanges to 115 yen, give or take a little bit. So that's what I count as above par. Japan in a lot of ways is a lot cheaper than Canada. I find food costs there, like, getting there is the most expensive part of going to Japan, not actually being in Japan. So and given that WestJet is offering, like I said, they offered a flight for like $875 direct to Tokyo in the fall, and I'm like, what? That is an insane price. So yeah, no. There we go. Can I cut this on the curve? Like that. I can, kind of. We'll clean it up with the scissors, but I can at least cut the like straight pieces with the rotary cutter. Almost sliced my thumb with like that. I am so happy to be back on streaming. It's like, I'm lonely. I did not get a lot of work done last week. Mostly because I had done a lot while Dallas was home, and then I was just like, oh my goodness, and no energy. The kids and I had a really good week. But I think it's also because I had just committed to being like, all right, I'm just going to be mum this week. Not a lot of like cleaning and stuff like that. Now, is my display at Knit City going to pay for it? Maybe a little bit. But you know, I've still got I've got over 2 months before I need to be actually ready for Knit City. We're good. We're good. I don't know if we're actually good. We'll see, I guess. Okay. I'm going to do this again. And then it's just interfacing. So yeah, this is actually a really fast cutout then too, which I am 100% here for. The one big thing I did do in this tidy up, and I am extremely proud of myself for doing it, is that I did go through and actually organize the bins that are underneath the table. And what I mean by organize the bins is basically I pulled everything apart and redid the sizing on it, essentially. So everything that is in the bins right now is in the trajectory it is intended for. So, well, except for I am going to pull some cuts out for the from the big bag that were in the old style without the canvas bottom. There's a lot of them still not finished. But I saw a style of bag when I was in Kyoto last year, like last May, that was very nice. And it was from Square Cuts, and the large box bags are Square Cuts. And so, oh, that's where it came from. Okay. So we're going to pull some of those, and we'll do that as well. Because why not? Why not introduce like 2 or 3 new ones? Kato that were almost finished are actually still out, and they are under the sewing. So there's a whole new setup now, and it's basically like just to the left of my sewing table right now. Excuse me, under the desk, the corner desk that used to be over beside the window. So I am happy enough now with the setup that we will be going in and actually doing a grand tour here once I tidy up the kids section. Because of course they came downstairs and like dumped puzzles on the ground, and their little desks are super messy. I might just leave them messy though, because honestly it's like, or I could just not show that section too, I guess. There are definitely areas of like, this still needs some work, but that's always going to be the way of it. And I just hit the point of like, okay, this is good enough. Dallas is like, that's good enough. It looks amazing. So that's a kudos. And it's also like, I gotta get sewing. So we're going to experiment with these because they've been gnawing my brain, as well as the luggage handles and these square bags that I was just talking about. We'll do all that. And then we will start actually sewing for the summer. But these are also be like something that like works into the little bit more these are not project bags. These are like hand bags. So And I figure with a lot of people still revenge traveling, we will, hopefully there's quite a bit of demand. They've been, for the people that I've been seeing posting like questions about them and stuff like that, they've been extremely successful at events. So I'm like, all right, let's go for this. Why not? So we'll see. Doesn't hurt. I did also find, well, I knew where all the embroidery bags were. The fabric envelopes, as I called them originally. And what I'm going to do with them is they're still going to be embroidery bags, but we're going to cut out like basically the window, and then we're going to make them into vinyl front bags that can be used for like cross stitch and embroidery patterns, because I think that will make them far more useful. It'll also be an easy way to reuse it, I think. I say that now. When I start cursing it out in like 2 months, when I actually do start working on them, or 3 months or 4 months this year, just remind me that I said that it should be an easy fix. You're 100% allowed to do that. Katie, on June 12th, when you were like doing these, you were prepping other things, you said that this would be an easy fix. And I do think it'll be an easy fix, but I will probably still curse them. Basically what I'll do is I don't want to have to pull them all apart, and it is a significant amount of fabric in these bags that like I just don't know what to do with them otherwise. So it's like, okay, let's cut out like a window, and then we'll sew vinyl into that window, and then that'll be the first iteration of the new embroidery bags, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to actually do for a more permanent addition for embroidery bags. I gave up on the accordion pouch. It was not working. It's one of those things where I think it's probably a little bit skill, and it's a little bit of a production issue as well. Maybe I'm not like as accurate with my cuts as I need to be, or something. Something is off. So I messaged the customer and I'm like, hey, so this took way too long to admit, but I can't get it to be at the quality that I want it to be. They look bad. So like basically, because it's two fabrics and then you squish them all together to do the accordion pockets, it was like you could see the lining fabric and just, yeah. Now I do think I'm still going to like lean into it and try and get accordion needle pouches done, because I think I've figured out ways to do it where it's just lining fabric for the pockets, and that will also reduce the cost. Also the size of it too, like the size of it made it restrictive to make it an accordion pouch, to be honest. Anyway, so there's that as well. Because and it was like, well, you can't even see the fabric, so what's the point? Because it was like using Japanese fabric in like some of the exterior folds, and it's just like, well, that's a lot of Japanese fabric you don't get to see. That's what I mean by a waste. Yeah. So anyway, so I gave up on that one. We rediscussed it. We've redesigned the bag, so that'll be something I work on in the next week as well. There's a couple remodels that I need to do, and then there's one remodel I need to do. And then we'll go in and we'll finish up the kato that I have cut currently for the crochet retreat. I will finish the kato for the crochet retreat from the ones I currently have cut. And then I'll go in and we will be doing the small box bags, because a lot of them don't need lining. I actually found a whole stash of lining, and they just need interfacing. So that's awesome. Alright, so the nice thing too is Dallas actually hung a nice like thing here of a shelf. That's what I'm waving my hand around at. And so the laptop is up on the shelf, and you are now sitting above my water and my coffee cup, which is like so good. Okay, now the one thing that I did take down is I took down my interfacing, and that might have been a bad idea because now it's sitting behind the desk. Okay, so how much effort is it? Okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to go behind and just hang the light interfacing back up. Give me 2 minutes. Like I said, 85% chaos. At least not 100% chaos today. Why does it always seem like the interfacing is like the problem child of this whole situation? Anyway, it was stuck under the totes. So I was definitely not happy about that. And then I cannot right now get the dowel in so that it will actually like go under the table again. And there's a piece torn off on the side. All right, well, we'll work with what we've got here. And do you know what? I'm not using the pattern pieces. We are going to use the actual fabric pieces because that always works out. And this is not being sarcastic. It does actually work out better to use the fabric pieces. You're going to actually interface because if there's small differences in cuts, blah, 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 you're matching the fabric instead of matching the pattern piece. Okay, and everything needs to be interfaced, right? Yeah, everything just needs this light interfacing. Okay, sweet. I'm going to move this up a little bit. Okay, so those fabrics definitely have to go off, and then this is all backwards. Okay, so that's that side, and this is this side. Yeah, so once this, okay, yeah, that'll look better too. And then I'll actually have the ability to like work on the full work surface as well, which is a big deal. Okay, 1 and 2. And this one can go here, 3, 4. Okay. Then we'll do the 2 exterior pieces, and then I'll get to roll out the steam press and we'll see how it handles on the cart there. Now, a lot of this will be a lot easier once we actually go in and redo the floors in here. Told Dallas that this is the one place that we are going to be like painting before the rest of the house, because it's like we're not going to paint a lot of the rest of the house before the kiddos are older, just so that they can like wreck the walls basically, and then we only have to paint it another few years. But when we go in to do the floors in here, which I think we're leaning towards, I want to get them done. They don't need to be this or next summer, but the summer afterwards, because we're planning on homeschooling, so I want the floors done before we start doing like homeschooling in here, just for ease of like cleanup and stuff like that. And but anyways, what I said, when we've got everything already pulled out from the walls and all that stuff, let's actually also paint the walls. So that's like like, since everything's already away from the walls, then we can paint the walls, and yeah, it'll be better. Okay, that's better. This can be good interfacing for bookmarks and such. And yes, I will cut these out afterwards. It's actually a good point in that probably for the denim, I could like basically cut the legs and then just put them on the interfacing and then cut them out from the legs. Whatever, not a big deal. Okay, so there's all those pieces done, and then I'll just double check. I think actually this might fit for the slip pocket. Oh, look at that. Okay, so there's one of those. So that's the start of the lining pieces. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm just kind of monologuing along here, which is a lot of talking to myself because I'm monologuing. But if you're just joining and you don't know what's up, I make bags, in particular project bags for knitters, but I also make, or am branching out into the handbag making arena. So that's kind of what we're working on right now, is some, they're called mini traveler. Oh, I just realized I mirrored that and I don't know if it needs to be mirrored. Oops. Anyway, branching out into some other options rather than just project bags. I love doing my project bags, but I'm also excited to be doing something a little bit different as well. Okay, so those are both straight. Okay. I feel like one of those, yeah, it's like 2 lining fabrics and it is slightly shaped, so it does look like it probably needs to be mirrored. So we're just going to go with that. It needs to be mirrored, I hope. It's weird that that doesn't say specifically, because it did for this one say specifically that this had to be mirrored. So I'm like, now I'm suspicious. mirroring just meaning that these two pieces ended up. Okay, except that sucks. Oh, right, but I have 2 bags. Okay, so that is the reason to cut these in sets of 2 anyway, because then the other piece here can abut that piece like this. There we go. And the same on the other one. 1 and 2. Excellent. This one needs to be shimmied down a bit, so we'll shimmy those both down a little bit. There we go. Looks like I should be able to get all of these done on the one plane here. I'm not worried about these little bits of like shred because it's a fusible interfacing, which means that when we put it under the steam press, it's just going to fuse together. It shouldn't cause any issues with like durability or stability or anything like that. Okay, there we go. One last piece here, and then shimmy, and then I also figured out a way that we are going to do the coasters, which are going to be patchwork, and I've got a massive roll of twill, which is actually what we're going to put on the back of, or I'm going to put on the back of the luggage handle pieces as well, and then they're going to go on the back of any coasters that I make this summer too. I need to sneeze, so give me one moment here. Stupid pollen this year. Oh yeah, sorry. Also trying not to like sniffle constantly. Promise I'm not sick, from what I know. Because the thing is that no one else in the house has brought, like, the kids aren't even sick right now. Knock on wood. Who knows if that'll change now that I've said that. Probably will. Probably jinxed myself to have a horrendous summer. Anyway. Oh yeah, and if you didn't hear it earlier, but you've been following along, I did get my goal time for my half marathon. I wanted to sub 3. I got 2:59:25. That's why every second counts. But yeah, I'm really happy with that because that is like a 20-minute improvement versus Fernie. I think Fernie, if it had been what I expected in like mostly a road race with some like off path stuff, I would have been faster. But given that it was like a 100-meter elevation change on essentially a deer track, along with like trail running, yeah, it was not as fast as it could have been. So Fernie was 3:20, and then Calgary half, which was at the end of May, was 3 hours. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Yeah, these will be perfect. This will be perfect. Now there is this twill is never going to run out on what I'm actually going to use it for, but you know what? That's fine. Okay, I got a little pair of thread snips here. Ugh. Okay, so the Traveler is ready to go. Mini Traveler from so the pattern's from Can Do Crafts. You'll probably, if you're in the sewing space, you'll probably see it a lot of the summer. It seems like it's been a very popular pattern, given how fast that was to cut out, even with all, oh yeah, it's only like, I've only been on for an hour and a half. And like, what, I had to like run upstairs and get pattern pieces and find shears, and like, this has not been a smooth sewing process today. Although, can we really say that any of them are smooth? There always seems to be something. But this was definitely one of the rougher ones we've had recently. Anyway, yeah, all things given, that is a really fast cutout process for 2 bags. Okay. This has been, when did this ship? Please give me your best guess when you think this was shipped to me. Please do. And then I will tell you. It is ridiculous. Remember that when I started making purses around 2018? And that is the best hint I'm going to give you. Yeah, this is definitely twill. That's going to be perfect for like the luggage handles. Okay. I just realized I need to disconnect again to grab more fabric for these things, and then we can do the things we need to do. I'm back. So I'm going to make some out of this super cute little, actually this is a big enough piece that we could use it for a kato, but it's also looking a little bit disheveled, so let's do it for our luggage handles. And then we've got owls. Sorry, still learning where the owl. Yeah, it was 6 years. The ship date on it is March 1st, 2018. So that tells you, yeah, time to get it used here. Okay, bunnies, owls, and Frenchies for these luggage handles. And that's why I'm saying that this is going to be a good project to use it up on. It's going to use quite a bit of scrappy fabric, which is awesome. We all know I love holding on to my scraps, and we all know that I'm also very much drowning in my scraps. So it is time to figure some stuff out to make with them. And I'm kind of tired of just doing needle stashes and notions pouches. Extremely solid options. I'm tired of it. So we're going to do these in sets of 2. And then look at that. There's still a ton of fabric there to make a notions pouch and needle stashes and everything. I love the owls too. This is one of the OG fabrics from our first trip in March of 2016. So we're getting down to the last little pieces of some of this stuff. The OGs, right? So I think I set it aside for wristlets actually, but whatever. It's going to look really cute as luggage handle things. So these handles, the idea is they wrap around like either the top or side handle. It's going to have a Velcro closure. And then it basically, it really helps me at least distinguish my luggage from everyone else's on the belt when it's all flippin' navy. It's my biggest pet peeve about the Samsonite luggage. Really nice luggage for me. Really good. I'm standing. My watch is like, you need to stand. What do you think I've been doing for the past hour and a half? What do you mean I need to stand? All right. Okay, this needs to be thrown under the steam press. Yeah, that actually needs to be thrown under the steam press before I cut it. So let's ignore that for a moment and grab, and we'll grab something else. Let's go obnoxiously bright. Oh, that's too small. Never mind. Okay, tried and true dogs. No, that's still... Yeah, that also needs to be pressed. Damn it. Okay, planets. Planets will work. Okay. No, I want to make a cake cozy out of that. Damn it. Ah! Hi, cat. Hey, there we go. Okay, this will work. It's like... Could make a cake cozy out of that too, but it'll make cute luggage handles. Anyway, yeah, that needs to be a cake cozy. I'm like in there, like, these are too small. They're even too small for what they're actually, like, the measurement on the outside of the box says that they're intended to be. So I don't know what I was doing. But apparently, I wasn't paying much attention to my measurements that day. Okay, let's fold this way. Anyway, yeah, the owls are good. I really like the bunnies too because it's that Dobby fabric. So it's got a really nice texture that's going to be really cool for luggage handles actually. Okay, there we go. Good. good. Looks like we're actually pretty straight of all things. And then I still have a strip there that can be used in scrappy stuff. So the plan for the scraps right now, I keep in my head thinking that this is going to happen over the summer. But when I actually start discussing it, I don't think it's going to happen over the summer. Let's be realistic. My current production like turnaround time is like for new things, unless it's basically grabbed me by my figurative balls and been like, "So me," which apparently is what's happening with these projects right now. Dahlia is about 6 to 9 months. It's just how it's going, and that's fine. Now, do we leave it a little bit larger for my seam allowances? Because that was the size that was recommended on the interwebs. Was a little bit smaller than it is right now. By like, yeah, almost an inch in some cases. So if I fold this and fold, that looks really wide based on like the width of my handle. Let me go grab my luggage and we're going to test this out on it. Yeah, we're going to throw it around the handle on this bag and we'll see where it gets to, because I'm pretty sure that... So these are the ones I've used in the past. Sorry, you can't see it. You can kind of see it on my face cam. And they fit this handle, yeah, with about the same like space as they fit this handle then. Things that don't need to be seen on the internet. Yeah, they're too wide. I can already tell you that. That is too wide for that. Okay, so let's take the one that I have here. I had one that was like unused out of my sewing studio, but I have no clue where it went. It was like in the scrap box because I was like, I'll use it kind of as like a guide template for what we're doing. Ooh, this one needs to be washed. Ooh, that is significantly smaller. Plus, of course, like seam allowance. But that is quite a bit less fabric than was suggested. Okay, so how wide is this? That's going to be the next question. Where's my 1 inch line? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. How wide are these? Okay, so that's as wide as the handle is right now. But this fits really nice on it, so... But I don't want to copy exactly because that's not cool. Okay. The length is right, I think. Mostly. What did they actually do for width? Okay. That's the reconstruction. Like I said, the maker that I bought these from, as far as I can tell, is not making them anymore, so that's why it's like, okay, I want to bring these in. Plus, again, it's another scrap buster and such different fabrics again, too, right? So, okay, I think I'm going to take off. Yeah, that definitely needs to be cut down. I think the length is correct. And then I think we're going to do the width that this is plus my seam allowances. Yeah, this one's going back on my bag though. It needs a wash. It is really gross. Okay. All right, so these, I have to cut these down individually. So this one will be the height. I know it's too tall because that even in the pattern it was like this height. Basically they made them squares. So we're gonna go with that square amount, or as close as we can kind of get it, given that this fabric is like right now. There we go. Trim it here. Okay, so that, yeah, that looks like the right height. And then it's the width that is concerning right now. Okay. So the width needed to be, I think it needs to be 1 inch. Yeah, it needs to be 1 inch smaller. Or at least a 1/2 inch smaller. But I think 1 inch is going to be the better option. I should actually flip this and do it this way, because... No, not that way. What the heck? What am I doing? There we go. Right there? Yeah, that looks better. Still, and then it's got nice, generous seam allowances, basically is what it does, which is good, because it's like, it is a high stress point item. Basically, like lifting it up and down constantly is going to put quite a bit of stress on it. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So nice, big, like, seam allowances, and then I think I left enough for like nice big seam allowances up and, or at least seam allowances up on the top and bottom. I'm like, great, I cut this so that I can do this same fabric front and back, but no, we did it so that I can have a set of 2, because you need one for a large bag and a small bag. Yeah, that looks right. A little bit extra width, probably. Well, generous seam allowances. These ones don't have as thick as seam allowances, but that's okay. Okay, cool. So, in the wise words of Andrea, we are going to try it with just that. I'm going to make a note of what we've done, because otherwise I won't remember. Okay. I don't need that anymore. That high plus that width, that seam allowance, and then we're going to do it with the twill on the back, because why not? And then those are all going to go out, that, and then that needs to be pressed with its interfacing, and we need to get things into the things. I don't know what things into the things were. We need the tote bag cuts and square off and see kind of how we do that. And then I think what'll end up happening is tonight will be I haven't been coming down a lot after the kids have gone to bed. I've been so tired. But we are... I can't slack off anymore. Not that it's been slacking off. It has been recovery. That's what I've been doing. So... we're gonna go with I was recovering, because I was. Ugh. I'll be very happy when the pollen dies down. Also, if you are in Calgary and you are watching, I am so sorry for your water main break. My God, it has to suck. We've had a friend come out a couple times because they've got a little one the same age as my eldest, and to do laundry and catch up and like get some extra water to like do dishes and stuff like that, instead of having to pull from the city system, because it's just like, oh man. The ridiculous part of all of this is it was actually a water main that they were going to do maintenance on this fall, and then it just is like, okay, you're going to do maintenance now. So apparently they are taking a little bit more time because it's already disrupted everything. They're like, let's actually make sure that this is like a sound infrastructure piece now, instead of having to redo this in like however long it would be. So one of my friends is like, are you affected? I'm like, no, we already did this in November because we had a water, well, that one, someone punctured the water line and the sewage line. That was fun. So the first priority there was like getting the sewage line fixed so that it didn't keep draining into the Bow River. Yay. You know, good priorities to have. So, yeah. All right. Man, I am actually really, I don't know. How are you feeling about the like very overhead view? I guess that would be the best way to put this. I am enjoying what I am seeing. I do wish there was a way to like, I almost should have you over my shoulder, I guess. But I also don't want the like clamp in my, like, yeah. Also think this will be far more impressive when we're actually like working on the really big piles of fabric and stuff like that. It's going to be an absolutely amazing setup when I go to record like fabric previews and stuff like that. That's going to be fun. Okay, and then this will need a Velcro on it as well. Okay. And then the last thing that's been gnawing on my brain for the last like year, it's not even recent months, last year, because I saw it in May, like I said, when I was in Japan, was the other thing, well, actually how I saw it like made was for like a melon bag for summer. And I'm like, what? At least that's how it was like described on YouTube by the person doing the tutorial on YouTube. And the awesome part of it is that the measurements that they actually provide are extremely close to the square cuts that I was doing for the big bag before we started doing the smaller cuts for the big bags that were like, that are now put with the canvas. So we can use some of the fabrics that I have had cut out for a while and make some of these melon bags, basically, which is exciting. Actually, I think that's a piece right there. What are you? You are a small box bag. Why are you in here? Oi, okay. Get out. You don't belong here. Sorry, I've totally disappeared below the desk, but I am still here, obviously, as you can hear from my mic. And the occasional sniffle. Okay, let's try the coffee bag here. And we're gonna have to open it up and just make sure it's completely squared up. And then I did want one that actually did have fabric involved with it already, but apparently that is a big request. So we'll just grab a piece of fabric that has already been cut. Okay. Because that is, all right, so I only need one piece. And one piece, and then, ooh. Okay. So the first things first, we're going to open this up and make sure that it's square. Okay. It's going to need a little bit of convincing there. Just with a little bit of an iron. It is down close to square though, that's awesome. Okay, good. Then what I'm going to do is we are going to go in and we'll just trim that little piece there that's like angry. But otherwise, actually, that looks really good. Now, so what we're going to do is we'll do that. Trim this little slice down just a tick. And then this is going to need some webbing. I'm going to double check the tutorial here in a moment and we'll see what exactly it needs for webbing. And the one thing I am realizing that I need, or that has like sped up the process even out in the sewing studio, is I did go get some cheap plastic garbage pails from the dollar store. And so I was throwing scraps in there instead of having to like pick them up off the floor. Basically, I was putting the pile in a container. And so I need to do that in here as well, because that'll help contain the cutting studio pile, basically. So, all right, now what we need to do is I'm going to fold. Yeah, it's just supposed to all fold in here like this, and then these will be seamed up. Yeah. Look at that. That's a nice, almost perfect square. Okay, let's get these all abutted correctly. Actually, the other benefit if I go to Japan in July. So the cool thing about going in the summer is I've never been to Japan in the summer. Oh, right. Okay, so I did say that there was a bit of a story behind this. So Natsumi can't finish the order until spring. Fine. That's awesome. Actually, I'm super glad, because if she's busy, that means that like she'll be able to stay in business longer. It's actually a benefit to me. And it's not like I had, none of my plans were set in stone. I didn't have any flights booked because it was still kind of a jelly plan, right? It wasn't solidified. Blah, 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 blah. All the things. All the things. Okay, I think I can make that work. Yeah, we can make that work. It's a nice little pastry fold. All of that. Whatever, right? Not a big deal. Oh. You are a large box bag cut. Damn it. You're supposed to be a big bag cut. Okay, I gotta go back down for... Are you large box bags or big bags? I thought you were big bags, but you are all large box bag cuts. Well, now I've got more fabric for large box bags, which is actually this bin. Anyway, so, but I have also never been to Japan in the summer. So, like I said, if I had an option, I would opt out. But I will not really, I don't really have an option. I have to go. But that does mean that if I'm not there in June, I will be there in July. And July is Omatsuri, which is like one of the big festivals for Kyoto, which would be like, has been on the list actually to go see. But, again, Japan can be, especially Kyoto and Osaka, can be hellishly hot in the summer. Like, I've told this story many times, but like the first weekend I was on an exchange in Japan was like the first weekend of September, and I was totally expecting it to be like approximately the same weather as Canada, because like comparable kind of climate, not as cold. I did know that. Nope. Osaka, I got the worst sunburn of my life that first week in Osaka. And then on top of it, it was 36 degrees plus humidity. So it's like I sunburnt and then I stayed red because it was just so flippin' hot. Anyway, live and learn. If you go to Japan, even in the fall, take your sunscreen. I got pulled aside by another gaijin that was, or international student. And they're like, so the word for sunscreen is hyakedome. And I'm like, thank you. I definitely needed that. I needed that information like 2 days ago. But better late than never. Japanese sunscreen, everyone always talks about it being so amazing. It is amazing. If you get a chance to get some, please do. It's like so good. It's just super like, it's not heavy, but it's very protective. Like I never burnt under it. That's not the one I want. No, stop. And it's just nice and smooth. It's soaked in without being like chalky and like sticky, which is the big thing that bothers me typically. Blah blah blah. The next best thing that I've actually found has been I think it's Made Good or something like that, and they do a zinc oxide mineral based one, and I do like the mineral based because of all the environmental factors, and realistically even for your skin sort of thing. I don't believe that sunscreen causes cancer, but I do think that zinc oxide is a lot less chemical to put on your skin than a lot of sunscreens, and it's reef safe, so you know, win. That looks like a very different red than it used to be. Weird. Okay, well, whatever. This is the red we have. Okay, so she was like, this one, we're only going to cut one piece, so we're just going to go in and I will singe the ends when we get back into the sewing studio. There we go. I wonder if there would be a way, no, because everything's blocking. I was like, I wonder if there would be a way to like hang this in the studio or in the closet, and then I could just like, but the issue is that the obi do hang down over where I would actually put this, so never mind. Okay, so she wants it that by that. That is a little bit larger of a square, but not by much. So it's a 50 centimeter square, and I'm like, I don't know what I am. What's 50 centimeters to inches? 50 cm to inches. 20 inches. So what is mine? Okay, so I'm 2 inches smaller in some ways. That's okay. Still gonna make it a very generously sized bag, to be honest. And also, if you want to know, this tutorial is from, someone, Hanako Handicraft. Okay, so she does, okay. Doop 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 doo doop doo 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 doo. She does basically right to the tips of these. So let's turn this and match all of these up, because that's going to be the most important-ish thing here. Do 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 do, and then we'll measure how much there is, and then I will do my. We're winging it, so we'll just do a deduction of how much I should actually sew, because she's definitely left like an opening. Do 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 do. Okay, so how much of an opening did you kind of leave? Actually, looks like she shows about maybe half of the length of it. You know, this is super engaging, I'm sure. Let's reconstruct this from a YouTube tutorial while I'm streaming on YouTube. It's definitely, what is it? YouTube Inception? Okay, it looks like 2 sides get sewn all the way, and then 2 sides get sewn, yeah, halfway. I'm gonna say half to 2/3 of the way. Okay, cool, okay. Because you need a place to like put the actual like handles and then like turn it and all of that. Okay, so we're gonna leave it there, and I will do the rest of it when I actually get out and am sewing it. So in that case, we're gonna sew this all the way up. Why do I not have clips in here? That's dumb. Fine. Okay, whatever. And then, yeah, because I'll have to figure out what exactly the instructions for the interior are as well. But hey, this is gonna be a super cute little bag. Okay, do the squares mostly match? Mostly match. We're gonna call that good, and I can fuss around with it a little bit once we get out, because this is obviously going to move. I have nothing to like hold it in place right now. Anyway, so there we go. Get out of here. Just throws it. Oh my goodness, Katie, you need to behave yourself better some days. No. Okay, steam press time. Which means we can, and then do I have a, I don't really have a place to plug it in there. Damn it. On my but I do underneath? Yeah, okay, I can go underneath. That's fine. Okay, so we've got vinyl that I need to destash. We have an excellent pressing cloth right here. I'm gonna pull this out and push it right back here. So the thought is that it should be able, it should be able to live on this cart, and then I won't need to really, I can just pull it out like that. It should be stable enough. It's got a lot of water underneath. It's got all its, it's heavy. It's holding all the distilled water that, I use for it and stuff like that. And purses that were started in 2018 and weren't finished. The only, I guess, drawback now is that you're not going to be able to really see it. But honestly, even with the top-down view, you're not going to be able to see it anyway. So, because all you'll be staring at is the giant red singer on the top. Look at the make of my steam press, because that's super interesting. Okay, I'm going to plug it in up here, which means I'm going to unplug one of the lights. There we go. Ooh, that does make, holy, that made a huge difference, didn't it? All right, good to know. that I need that second light to make the studio look good. Okay, there it is. Oh, yeah. I know. Shush. Okay, don't touch the top, Katie. The top gets hot. You'd think I wouldn't need to remind myself of that, but I just touched it as I moved it. So, okay, now, yeah, I think in future the better place for it is actually it could live at the end. Oh, it could live at the end of the cutting table rather than living in the closet, and that would actually give me more closet space and a spot to put the webbing. Look at that. Problems being solved every day. So I put everything on go over top so I don't melt the wire. I put first I got the shelf out of the closet, which, oh my goodness, I understand why Dallas was like, I am not doing that again. I'm never doing it again either. I hadn't realized it, but it did actually damage the baseboard in there. It actually knocked it off the wall and chipped it. I'm like, oh, all right. Too tight a fit. It fit, but I wasn't happy about it. And then when I was like, it was the one that also had already collected all of the like affected, damaged. There we go. There's the word. The damaged pieces from like moving all the other calyx. Because the first time we moved the calyx from our old place to the first house we bought, Dallas tried to move it while I was still together, and the Dowells were extremely unhappy about that. So the shelf that I moved caught those pieces. So it already had defective pieces, and then I was setting it up, and my youngest walked over it with a shelf and cranked it over, so it broke another dowel. It's just like, oh my god. And then what else was I doing? I was doing something to it. I think I was like trying to get the piece across installed, and it like cracked the main, like, not the structural pieces, but the pieces that are like the shelves, and so now there's a big like divot. It's just like, okay, this is why I said it's like this shelf now is like, if it ever comes apart, it is just going to be used for parts for any of the other like pieces that we end up having to maintain. So, yay. No, why are you sticking there? Anyway, so the first things first was to move that shelf out. I got it done. Was it pretty? No. Is the shelf damaged? Yes, but it's done. And then I was like, okay, so we got to get the little shelf support back into the closet. But you know, Dallas can do that when he comes home. So I'll go ahead and like hang up all the kimono and the obi. I've got the IKEA hangers that I previously used for tote bags, and I'm not going to use those for tote bags anymore. So like, I can hang them all up, and you know, it's only going to be a couple days. Yeah, actually, we should put the other support in because I'm seeing that it is still wavery. Damn it. Anyway, no, that did not come true. It was literally less than 12 hours, and the shelf had bent and like fallen out of the supports that it has. So it's like, all right. So when he was home, I got him to put it on Monday because that was the time period that worked with us with the kids in school. But yeah, it's definitely still sway backed right now. Kimono and obi are not light endeavors. That smells like a cat might have gone into it. Oh yeah, they did. Damn it. Those are okay. Thank goodness. All right, is this other one safe? Let's find out. Yeah, we're good. This one's okay. Obviously, the room has been in turmoil, so they're all like, I'm in turmoil too. Ah. Okay. And since these aren't pieces that actually go off of the steam press, I'm not as worried about them like bubbling and being gross, to be honest. So we should be good. Just Like, I usually have to like adjust the pressing period and everything like that, but it looks like we're good. They're like nice and adhered and like not bubbly. So I think we're good. That is very slippy. Okay, so this is going to need a non-stick surface to sit on. Should probably bring my old cutting mat in and we can pop it underneath, and that will solve most of the issues. Okay, and that's where one of the tears is, so we'll just line it all up so we're not getting... Bigger worry actually is like pressing in a wrinkle on the other side. Okay, yeah, no, this is going... I will need a little bit different setup for this when I'm actually streaming, because the mic wire keeps wanting to go underneath, and that's not going to fly. Okay, so this one is a little bit too large, so let's just cut it off. It's a little bit too wide to like go into the steam press altogether. And what I'm going to do is I am going to cheat it and press them together, because why not? The why not is because they may not press, but whatever. We'll just press it again then. Okay. There we go. Ding. Ding. Good. Throw this underneath like this. Actually, I should throw myself on into intermission probably, but you know what? I am nearly done pressing all of these, so I'm not too worried. And I'll probably throw actually that coffee fabric and that lining underneath as well, because we may as well. What time is it? 3:30. Okay, so I do have some errands I need to run while things are still open, i.e. I need to call and actually get a prescription renewal or a refill that I keep forgetting about, and I need it today if I can get it. And what else do we need to do? And I also need to pack some orders. So I think what I'll do, since the next thing is I'm going to be going out into the sewing studio now, I will go and actually not be on stream. We'll get this set up to stream tonight though, after the kiddos are in bed. They've been at school all day, so they like, honestly, the youngest has been going to bed around 6:30 each night. So I have a feeling, and that's whether they're at school or not. I have a feeling that we'll be having an early bedtime tonight. And I'm very motivated to get down and actually work on these traveler slings. So those work in both our favors. Excited about a new project and space, to be honest. Okay. Ding. Not, well, yeah, here's the thing. I actually do want to just go out and sew. But I should be responsible and get my other stuff done, because well, I guess I could call the pharmacy as I'm leaving, and then I could pack orders tonight while the kids hang out down here and mail them tomorrow. That's also a valid option. Let's do that instead. Because we can trim, because once I've got these pressed, I can trim them down. And then we can move out. And if nothing else, it'll still put us that much closer to actually being able to sew tonight. Now the one question is, no, I don't think those luggage handles need an interfacing, because they've got the twill, which is a little bit more heavy duty. It is a nice, it's a fairly pliable twill. Ooh, time for some more water. It's a pliable twill, so it should be fine for actually folding around stuff. But it's like a little bit thicker than like just quilt cotton, so it'll be nice. I originally did purchase it to do bag exteriors with, but it's too light for bag exteriors. Although I could use it for linings, which is good. Now that I've like actually opened it up and felt it, so. That company is the one that was like, drove me to be like, I need to actually develop the basement so that I can work downstairs, because I need a larger cutting table. Yeah. And look at where we are now instead. That's okay. Excuse me. So this does actually call for distilled water only. So that's what we're using as instructed. Ooh, don't leak. Can't fill it too fast or else it like spills over. Come on. No. Okay, good enough. That's almost full. That is not the lid for it. That's the lid for the distilled water. All right. Apparently, my brain is like, all right, we're going to shut off now. We're good. You've done a lot of thinking today. You're done. All done. No more. Okay. Little does it know. There's a significant amount more to be thought about. Okay. Both exterior pieces, like this. And then we got to decide, oh yeah, okay. Then that is going to be the one that goes next, because it's on the same piece. We'll lay this down, give it some steam. Like hesitated because it's like, I thought I was out of water. No, you're good. You still got water. Okay, there we go. Take the lining piece off and the exterior piece off, and we'll lay. So basically what I'm doing here is once you've put interfacing on, it should lay down somewhere to basically set completely. So like actually this works out really well with how this cutting table is now set up, because now you can watch as I get the pieces actually adhered and ready to go on the slow collection of them. Okay. And then the next step will be actually moving this whole like clamp. It's quite an intense setup for this, and it would totally hold like some other camera as well, which actually I'm just realizing, I wonder, because my Canon does actually have an HDMI out, I wonder if I'd be able to like stream from it if I connected it to the laptop. This Brio is really good, but actually adding that one would be good too. Anyway, so far so good. It's all working. I'm happy with that. Hopefully it's working on your end too. From what I can tell, it's all going through YouTube and everything at least. So, okay, there we go. This needs, I'm gonna unroll the tip here. There we go. And by that, I mean the tip of the fabric. Because it was like, blech. That's super cool that we can get 2 out of 1 jeans cut though. That's exciting. So my original plan for these was I had seen a really cool another Japanese actual pattern of oh shoot, that hurt. Probably adding to my iron burn collection. Anyway, the original thing that I had seen that I was like, oh, this would be amazing, is little buckets with jeans. But I thought of it. I thought it'd be awesome. I set up to do it, and then I decided against it. And I'm not 100% sure why, but I think this is going to jive better with what I want to accomplish in the next bit. Oh yeah, that. I can't tell if that's going to blister or if it's the vein under the, like, up. Oh, no, it's the vein. Okay. The perils of being a sewist. Okay. Okay, last 2 for the mini traveler, and then I am going to press that fabric for the coffee bag, just so it's as square as we can get it, squared up to each, like, itself as best as we can, and then we'll see where I go from there. All right, those are definitely, I know it's denim, I know it's really thick, but the stabilizer, is going to help it just hold better. And it means that and most of these are on the bias from what I can tell, because of course denim's kind of a twill. So it shouldn't shred too much, but you know what? Let's not risk it. Now the question still becomes, where the actual hell did I put the cotton webbing? Because what I used the cotton webbing for, I was using the cotton webbing for the I bet you it's in there. Okay. Anyway, I was using it for the things that we were doing before I left for a month. The kimono fair. So I was using it for them. So it should be right on the top of this mess. Not that's actually very much. Oh, I wonder if it's back there. No. By the way, the break was actually hobby productive besides the races. We did the races, and then the other big thing was actually I've finished 2 pairs of sock whips in the last few weeks, which has been very good for my brain. And also because one of those pairs of socks was almost as old as my youngest. Now the reason I stalled on them so long is because basically they were way too short, and I needed to add a quarter, not even, I think it's 3 or 4 rows of knitting. But that meant that I had to finish them, and then I trimmed the toe, and then I re-knit the toe basically, because I do toe up socks. Alrighty, there we go. All ready for sewing here. Actually, well, not quite. We're going to do the things to be able to sew. Okay, so I'm going to unplug here. Plug, no, don't turn off. There we go. Oh yeah, that light does a big difference. Okay, and then we're going to push you over here. And I think you're going to live at the end here instead of in the closet. Okay, now, where the heck? Okay, so I've got a thing of stuff there, kimono or all the scraps and things like that, and I have a feeling it's probably in there. So I'll take a look in that once I get off stream. Don't feel like doing it right now. What we're going to do right now is we're going to trim down all of these interfacings so that we've got a clear sewing line when we actually go to sew. And then we got and just kind of an evening up here. This is why I say it's sometimes it would be useful just to interface the whole thing, but when you don't know what you're going to use it for, it's better not to do it beforehand. It's in this case, it probably would be a good idea to just go in, cut open all of these jeans and interface them right away, to be honest. And then cut them. But whatever. They both work, really. They really both work. It doesn't really matter. But it would cause less potential distortion to the fabric and things like that, and stabilize the cutting process. It would be the benefits. But whatever. It'll all be fine. Excuse me. I am still a little bit of a mess. Okay, and then these interfacing scraps they're just garbage. I don't usually send these to my friend. So yeah, I need a scrap garbage can and an actual garbage can in here, because I already have, I have what I need out in the studio, more or less. So a trip to the dollar store soon. Cutting studio setup and a sewing studio setup. The whole idea is I don't know if this is common, or if this is just something is having the things that you need in your work zone. And so I'm still figuring out obviously what I need in the work zone, but instead of having to like move my bins around all the time, just get a second set of bins. Now, if you cannot afford to do that, move it around. I'm going to be moving this pole around because yes, I could buy another one, but I don't really want to. Because there's other things I prefer to spend the money on. But going to the dollar store for some garbage bins is not going to break the business. So, thankfully. Alright. And if you're like, Katie, isn't that tedious? Yes. Yes, it is. This is why with the like eyeglass cases, I just press the eyeglass case instead of cutting out the shape and then pressing the stabilizer onto the back of the eye, the exterior or whatever. It's just like, no, just do it once. Still has been a very quick project for like coming together, especially considering it's the first time that I've cut it. Now, obviously there will be a learning curve when I actually go to sew it, so we'll see. We'll see. But right now, I'm quite pleased with how it's working out. But I also knew that this was going to be a good pattern because like this is the same pattern designer as the Kato bag, and she's always like, at least for that, she had really clear instructions, like straightforward, and this has been clear and straightforward so far as well. I know there's some fancy stuff that has to happen with this mid front, but we'll tackle that when we get there. I'll just make sure I take out the excuse me, the pattern pieces when I go to make this. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I'm gonna line up all these straight pieces, hopefully, and just cut them all at once, because they're all supposed to be the same size and straight. Feels like everything adhered very well today, which is super exciting. Yeah, I can line those up and at least do 2 at a time, and then I'll find the other 2 in a minute. I'll do the other same with the other pieces that are like, excuse me, the same. Excited for how these are going to come together. Ding, ding. Okay, and then these are actually matched as well. And those are separate, but also have to head out. Ding. This is also why I don't cut these out to shape either. Like, I cut them out in approximations, obviously, and then trim them down, because then it's like, if there's any shrinkage or like shuffling around of like when you put the lid down, you don't have to worry about it being like exactly on. Does this part create the most waste that I just kind of deal with? Yes. But unfortunately, I can't produce anything without some sort of waste, and I do divert the majority of this. Not the interfacing as much, but the other bits and bobs and pieces. Actually, if I get the other pieces that I mirrored, then they can just stay together to get sewn together too. Excellent. There we go. I don't know why I have Mario stuck in my head, but apparently I do. Okay, this side. Okay, that's that other piece of, with a little bit of a swoop to it. Okay, so we're going to cut those out individually just because it's easier and it's a very subtle, like, angle in. There we go. And that's the other straight pocket piece. That's the other swoop swoop piece. And then these are the other two mirrored pieces. Ding. And ding. All good. Now we're going to go in here. And you got your interface in there. And we're going to go down. And across. And we'll go straight down. And apparently that one actually did fold over when we were pressing it down. So let's get this lifted. And this is the time period when it's like, why do I not cut them to shape and size? But honestly, I think that's actually the first time I've run into it like this. So I think we're good. Out of however many pieces we've actually, like, pressed. Okay, I'm going to throw this back under the steam press, though, just to, like... It's still hot, so it's like, get that corner as pressed out as I can get it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Snip. Not perfect, but better. Okay. Oh, right, okay. Answer that text after I'm done working. Right, okay. Okay, so these are lined up. Just gonna trim the interfacing down. And we just got these two straight pocket linings to do after that, and then we are set. Ready and loaded to move out to the sewing studio. And then yes, I will be working on Kato over the next like 10 days or so until the retreat. And then we'll move into the madness that's going to be Knit City Prep, because I have no clue what to expect from Knit City Prep this year, or like what to prep. Well, obviously I need to restock small box bags. So I think the main focus for, well, and then there's also Omatsuri in August, so it's like, We need eyeglass cases. I do know that. I've sold a lot of eyeglass cases recently. And then we also need, I think with the Obi stock that we had for the kimono fair, I'm happy with the amount of Obi items I have. But I do need to make more cotton and cotton linen blend wallets and that stuff. Okay. It is 10 to 4. So yeah, I've got like another hour that I can work. So I'm going to move you out into the sewing studio and into that nice new space. And we're going to do the things because that's what we're here to do. So I will be back in like 3 minutes. I am going to put you to the intermission thing or BRB just because then you don't have to watch or listen to me grunt and groan as I get you out into the sewing studio. I also need to grab a snack. So yeah, be back in like by 4 at the latest because I do have to get this tripod down. I just remembered. We'll see what happens. Oh, okay, there we go. My husband just texted me. It's like, we can't hear you. It would help if I actually unmuted the mic. Sorry about that. I'm here now. Anyway, we're working on these luggage handle wraps, and I am very pleased with how it has come out so far. I'm going to sew the Velcro in. I am sewing it through both layers on this side because that'll create a little bit extra reinforcement for this side. And then I'll go through and I'll have to go through and actually top stitch it because we'll have to close the turning seam as well. Yes, I am sewing it with white thread, but the white thread looks better on the front. I'm going to make all of these with the black twill. A, I have a massive roll of black twill, and B, I think they'll look they'll look cleaner longer in some ways. Even though you're handling the top of it, it's at least another yeah. These can be taken off, machine washed. I still always suggest air drying the products simply because then you don't have to deal with any potential for shrinkage. But you can definitely machine wash cool. Go back. We don't want to go off the corner, thank you. Around here in a moment. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a different, I think this camera's gonna have to go up a little bit taller and then we can kind of do an angled view. This, like I said, this will be this new streaming setup will be a work in progress for the next couple months over the summer while I'm working on everything. Especially because I'll be moving it in another cutting studio for the next bit. So, it is an argument though for another stand in here that's just set up, and then I do just unwind the camera, or unscrew the camera from the setup every time. Alright, there we go. Alright, so what these are for are luggage handle wraps. You can just Velcro them around the handle of your luggage. I should have brought a piece out, but I think the adjustments that I made are good. And we've got a pretty straight line there. The black looks really good. Got a kitty cat on the front here. Obviously these are scrap projects, so you never know exactly what you're going to get for prints and stuff like that, or where their placement's going to be. You could always put this side up too. But it is a really nice way to actually mark out your suitcase when it's the 16th bajillion navy suitcase that comes out on the luggage belt. So let me go grab the excuse me, the luggage, and then we can see how it fits. Give me 1 second. All right, we are back, and you can't see the luggage, of course. Actually, we'll roll it over here then. Getting the mic cable. So I did adjust it from the actual suggested one that they did online, but that is better. It fits it perfectly, actually. So there we go. So yeah, so the adjustment that I made was good, and then good to remember that the Velcro on the, you could Velcro it this way direction as well. So if you want that kitty cat that was on the piano, but that is difficult. AF. Okay, so the one end will always be up. Nice. No, that's really good. Okay, sweet. Fits perfectly. I'm going to try it on the side. Just double check it down here. Make sure it fits here as well. Yeah, it actually fits there as well or better, simply because of the luggage tag. Awesome. We're good. Okay, so those are the correct measurements for that. So then the other thing I need to figure out is what size is this exactly, and take note. Okay. I can get rid of the old grocery list. Doon, 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 doon. Doon, 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 doon. Done. Okay, sweet. So let's cut down this other one. We'll sew it too, and then I've got a full set ready to go. And then we'll move on to the... What would you prefer to see first? Would you prefer to see the mini travelers or the other thing we're working on, this like Japanese square melon bag? Let me know while I finish this one up, because I want to do both. I don't really care either direction. And if someone else chooses, makes the decisions, I don't have to. Okay. I have set an alarm just so I don't lose track of time, because I could potentially get like sucked into the making of the things, and I don't want to miss kiddo pickup, obviously. So okay, there we go. Ding. Ding. All right. No, that can just go live in a chaos heap over there. I know, I just tied it up, but yeah, here we are. Here we are. Okay, right, and then this has to be in a certain amount of space. That looks right. It matches, we're good. And this, yeah, this was the loop. Yeah, the loop side of this was the side that we put on the interior on the other piece. I just want those to match. Go. Yes, we're good. Okay, cool. We're still on the Velcro. I'm gonna double stitch it on the ends here. Again, just some extra reinforcement. Go, and then turn. There. Now the other option is I could actually sew the other, like the hook on now too. So let's try it that way and see if, yeah, because then it would be a little bit more invisible. Although then the issue becomes, okay, so if these are together like this, wait, no. Put wrong sides together. That is the top. This is the bottom. This is going to fold here, and this is going to fold here. So we're going to be on the piano keys here. Okay. I did not measure in from the top on that one. Oh well. It'll all be fine. Right, that is the one benefit. No, okay, so these do, I'm right. Nope, nope, nope. We're going to do it this way because it's less mental gymnastics. and it ensures that both of these match. And then if I want to experiment, I'll experiment with the upcoming ones rather than within the same set. That's what we're going to do. Apparently my last couple brain cells are actually working right now. Da, 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 da. Okay, so the next things would be to figure out like what the production of these would like kind of if I'm like production sewing these, how do you make it efficient? So it's like obviously the cutting all takes place at once. And then I guess because it's only black, we can go in and put all of the loops on the interiors. And then sew them like this, and then put all the Velcro on. That's not bad. I did not pay attention to how long this has actually taken, because why would I? But I can't say that it's been too long either. Oh, right. Trim down the corners, because on this, having sharp corners is key to making it look snazzy. There we go. And that is where the little scoopy scrap bin comes in handy, as I should just be trimming it over this that. Okay. So the last one I left way too large a turning, and this one I've left really tiny one. So I need to go somewhere in between. Okay, 4:30. So I think we'll try starting the coffee melon bag. I'm calling it a melon bag because the tutorials that I saw for it on YouTube. Oops. And that's why we shouldn't use pokey ends. There we go. Didn't break any of the threads, just popped through. Anyway, the tutorials that I've seen on YouTube that were for this bag that I saw in Kyoto were like for like, here, you can carry a watermelon in it for the summer. It was advertised as a summer bag to carry your watermelons in, or melons. I guess summer produce sort of idea. Anyway, I saw the shape of it when I was at one of the temple markets with Caroline in Japan, Kyoto last year, May 23, which let's just discuss, or not discuss, but mention the fact that like that was over a year ago now. Holy, it's like, what? Where did that time go? But anyway, and I saw the shape and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I want to try and find a pattern for it. And then about 2 months later, YouTube was like, yeah, I gotcha. And suggested this melon bag that like I'd never seen the shape before, but it's really cool because it kind of makes almost a hexagonal bag. I don't know. It's like really cool. So realizing that actually I've been thinking about that bag for over a year. Let's sew it first. And then we'll work on the mini travelers tonight. And then Friday, when I have another full day of sewing and I don't have to tidy up the room, we will work on the kato that are underneath the desk. And then after that, we will go in and prep the remainder of the kato that have been like set up to cut and like have their canvas and lining and everything already ready. And the small box bags, in hopes that we get a good chunk of that done for the crochet retreat on the 22nd. We're not going to get a lot of the small box bags done, but we can get quite a few of the kato done before that point for sure. And then there's been a request for the cake cozies. So I'll make sure that I get a few more of those done as well, because why not? If there's been a specific request, I may as well. And that's been for the crochet retreat, so I'll make sure those get done here. The nice thing about this new setup is that the serger is like right here. I don't have to set it up and take it down constantly, besides protecting it from children. So it's just like I can just serge and then throw it on the sewing table, and then it's ready to go to sew together when I get there. Yeah, I need to make my list of like, what are we going to actually focus on stocking this summer? Eyeglass cases being one of them. There we go. All right, so those are two super cute little little ones. And there's definitely fluff on there that needs to be lint rolled off, but there is the second one. just like that. And there we go. You got 2 cats. So now I'll have to figure out how to package these so that they stay together for use. Those actually look very even, which is awesome. This one's overlapped a little bit more, but you know what? They're going to all be... And I do need to take a lighter to those little thread ends, so we'll do that later as well. But sweet. So that's something that will be coming to the shop over the summer at some point. So these are luggage handle wraps that go around like the top or side handle of your like checked luggage. Now, okay, I need to go back into the tutorial for this. And okay, so 2 sides get fully sewn and then 1 side gets, it looks like half sewn. The auto translate is like on both sides in the menu. It's not a menu, but it's both sides of the fabric. Okay, and then so the ones that are halfway are on opposite sides to each other, so opposite points. Okay, so fold these in so that we're in half. I'm really excited that this should work with some of these large, like the tote bag cuts, because it's like, I really don't want to have to pick them all apart just to make, well, okay, the back side of this will still make big bags now, because it's like, I can take it and cut it in half, and we can make big bags from it with the canvas once I have canvas. But I'm excited for it to be able to do something else with the other cut of it, because just taking them apart and making like 2 big bags is just boring. Really, it's really boring. Okay, so let's see, how big a point do you have? Obviously very much a guesstimate, but you know, better than nothing. Okay, so I'm going to go just over the actual amount recommended, or what I'm guessing it's like based on that video. Who knows? Go with this right here and this right here. So that's the points that will sew in between. She actually pins it, and I think that is probably the best way to mark that. So grab the pin box and then pin it where I think it needs to go. Ding a ding a ding a ding a ding. There we go. And I am going to line it up a little bit better so that those sides. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Now apparently we'll go in and do this right on the edge of that cup. And yes, if I sound like I'm breathing heavy, it's because I am mouth breathing because of the damn pollen. Did not help that I did go do, so the pop-up was fine, but it was very windy, which knocked a bunch of pollen off the trees, and it was extremely cold on Friday. Actually, to the point, or Saturday, to the point where like one of the other events that was actually running in the city that day, closed up early because it was just too much. It was downtown, and it would have just gotten funneled. Let's not get started on the whole, oh my God, it was so miserable for like the second half of the Calgary Marathon. Let's just say it was not hot. It was like, I don't know how many people have this experience of like, if you are outside and it feels like your skin is going to peel off because it's so cold. Yeah, that's what it felt like. And it was raining and like windy on us and just, ugh. Yeah, the Calgary Marathon was not good weather. And like, yeah, we're in Calgary. I get it. Our weather is never guaranteed. Oh, nor is it typically very nice in the spring. But still. Dallas had like glorious weather last year. And then we get this nonsense this year. So gross. Anyway. Yeah, but anyway, so Saturday was like blowing all the pollen off the trees. I went out to like load the Jeep and like my fingerprints staticked pollen to the Jeep for sure. It's just like, ugh. So I think my body's probably still dealing with that. What I should probably do is go take an antihistamine and just not complain about it. But you know, cat problems. Inconsequential to anyone really but me. And you having to listen to me talk with like a snotty nose. Haha. Okay, let's get these folded in, and then we're gonna, it's the same idea on this one. So we'll get that done. Oh, I'm excited for this because, like I said, it hasn't been gnawing at my brain like the Mini Traveler did, because the Mini Traveler like showed up and it's like, hi, you need to make me right now. And it's like, hello? Sure. Actually, she's got a pattern coming out that is probably going to make the perfect like market bag, like, or market wallet purse thing, because I've been wanting to do one for makers so that when you're like, when you're vending, you can have like your phone and stuff like that if you don't have readily accessible pockets. You can also keep your cash close on hand. Blah, 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 blah. And so like I was trying to not quite reinvent the wheel, but follow another tutorial that was like the accordion pouch. And it just, again, it was nice, but it was a lot of effort for not enough return. So anyway, so Can Do has a pattern coming out for that as well. And I'm like, all right, I think that's what we're going to tackle. When it's released, that is the one that we're going to follow probably. So, okay, and then those are the 2 points that need to only be pinned part way. So far so good for timing on this though. It's not taken too much. I think the big thing is going to end up being actually, there's a little bit of fiddliness towards the end of this project, but otherwise I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay, sweet. Yeah, so that gives you an idea of like the size of it that it's going to be. Is it a handbag? Is it a knitting bag? It's whatever you want it to be. What do you want to be when you grow up? I don't know. Okay. Actually, when I grew up, well, okay, when I was a kid, what I wanted to be when I grew up was an author and illustrator. So I've always been very much drawn to the arts. Could still be an author. I don't know about the illustration part. It's not a skill that I ever like really put time into developing. Okay, I'm going to play this and it's going to show me what my seam allowance needs to be. 1 centimeter. Great. Okay, so that's like 1 cm is what we figured out, like 3/8 of an inch, right? Yep, 3/8. Okay, so right, just on the inside of the second line, because the second line is a 1/2 inch seam allowance. All right, let's get this in and sewing, and then I'll just make sure she wants it sewn. I think it's just like sew both the same way. Yeah. Nope. Would help if I put it down to actual seam, like stitch length, construction stitch length. I guess it's just basting. That's what we'll count that as. There we go. And why, yes, I could actually go in and like mark seam allowances and all that, but no. I could. I will not. Unless it's like a very particular pattern where it's like, this curve needs to be exactly at this seam allowance. Maybe. Probably not though. right, so there is the one that's got the opening. Now let's do the other full seam. I'm going to scoot these down so these points actually match, and then we're going to just let it naturally move into the folded edge here. Now, I do need to go. So, if you guys have any requests for specific things from Day Day House, please let me know, because obviously I've got to get my order in with her very rapidly. At least the start of it, sort of thing. And I'm definitely going to get her to do all the charms that she's done before, but I'm also thinking earrings. And if you take a look at their Instagram, let me know if there's anything else you're kind of like, I would really love to add that to my collection. Thinking some of the trinket dishes and stuff like that. So she's always super shocked that this stuff sells well in Canada, and I'm like, yeah, but here's the thing is, like, we can't find this sort of stuff in Canada, at least not easily. It takes a lot of hunting, right? So oh, I see why that's important. Okay, so that is a little bit small of an opening, so that would be the opening for the bag itself. It's not bad, but we're gonna take it out another inch. Yeah, another inch. Okay, so we're going to go down to right there. Hey, I even grabbed the seam ripper on the first try. Okay, so that would make it, yeah. Did not think of the consequences of that. And it is a little bit, like I said, the measurements are not exactly as in the video. If I had the exact measurements as in the video, this would be a bit different too, but we don't, so we're just going to deal with it this way. Guesstimations. Guesstimations are always good. But hey, it's using, so why we're doing it this way is because these are the pieces of fabric that I have that I would like to use up. And then I still have the other piece of fabric from the back or the other side of this bag that can still become a big bag. But this way I also don't over inundate with tote bags. I actually have a different product. Okay. Learning curves. These first ones always take more time. Although honestly, that I'm surprised how quickly that luggage handle thing came together. I'm pleased with that, so we'll take it. Win some, right? So this isn't a loss. And at least I checked before I went. Okay, so that is a much better opening size now. Anyway, I'm glad I went in and checked before I just was like, yeah, let's sew the other one. And then was like, oh, wait, that is way too small. It's weird. It looked like something came up on the bottom of my screen. All right, seam things. Okay, we're just going to run another seam because realistically it's not very long, especially now. Now, the only place that this does actually mess up this stuff a little bit is that I did take a piece of lining fabric, and that is where I would need this fabric. But whatever. New bags. It can deal. It can deal. Okay. So we need to be at this point, not that point. I'll square this back up. There we go. Move. Shimmy the pin for this one. Ding, ding. And then move over to this side and shimmy the pin on this side to there. Ding. Ding. Excellent. Yeah. So those first, since they're already on this side, I was basically at the seam allowance with these sewn at the bottom, which is awesome. And honestly, this is pretty easy construction so far. once you figure out like details like that with like, so this needs to actually be, well, that's always going to happen though when you modify patterns, right? So, you know, knitting, sewing, it's all, you gotta make it work with what you got sometimes. And today, it is working with what I got. It's always nice when that happens. Hell, even the mini traveler's pouches so far have been like super cooperative. So I'm hoping that they just go together very easily as well because, yeah, we're leaning on that. Like I said, they've been super popular from everyone who's been like talking about them. So I'm like, all right, we will lean into that. Okay, this did not get pressed out as well as it should have. So I'm just going to manually, i.e. by finger, press it out as we sew. Because everything done at Atelier Nekozuki is extremely professional. There you go. It's something all right. Okay, there we go. Pins, pull the pins, pull the pins, all the pins. Awesome, that's a nice big opening. The issue with this fabric is that only two sides of it are facing upright, but that's okay. Oh, it's so cute. Look at that. Look at that. It's so cute. Okay, now I do know that some of the... Okay, actually, I think this was the one that was supposed to be, like, turned right side out. I hope it was. There's a nice, cute little bag. Okay, let's go into the next set of instructions. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, she wants the seam allowances pressed open. Okay, we can do that with the little seam roller, I guess. Okay. Just I'm gonna be super professional here and just finger press them open because whatever. That's fine. Okay. Finger pressed open. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, I see. Okay. Ooh, do you want me to... Okay, yes, you do want this open all the way. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Which is like... So this is the opening that is going to need to be sewn together with the interior. So I can see that being pressed open. Alrighty. And we'll finger press open this section like that. And we're going to finger press this open like this. And this. Sweet. Good. All right. Nice and clear. Excellent. Okay. Now. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, we know that that's going to... Okay. The mouth of the bag. So you're supposed to do that for both of them. Okay. Basically repeat. Oh, I've got 15 minutes left. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Okay. Yeah, good. I see. Cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is also supposed to be pressed open. Again, I don't have an iron here. I am not starting up my iron today because at this point I am a little bit too close to heading out of the house anyway. Okay, but we can finger press everything open, and that looks like it's, for today at least, it looks like it's working out well enough. So it wants me to wants this pressed open as well, Pretty sure this is so that the seams nest nicely together once you actually like have the bag assembled. That's what I'm going to go with. I can't think of another reason really. So we're going to go with that. It's going to make my interior nicer. Okay. And it will also help with the whole thing here. Okay. Spread this out. Press this open with my fingers. Finger pressing. Finger pressing. So as the case with most of these fabrics, this one will probably be better with a non-directional print, but that's okay. This is why we're experimenting. It's still gonna be super cute. The ones that I actually saw at market were like patchwork, so this might be something to do with the patchwork. Be pretty cool. Okay. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Come on, press down. Okay, there we go. Better. Apparently the two edges are fine. The other two are not. All right. Flip. And then, okay. Okay, so she's got it like this. And then the big thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that the mouth of the bag runs the same direction is what I can tell. Yeah, okay, so it needs to go this way. That being, yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. Got it. I got it. Right? Runs this way. Runs this way. Sweet. I think that's what she's talking about here. I'm assuming this is a she. I think that's what they are talking about here. Shouldn't assume. Okay, yeah. Yes, okay. That is correct. Both mouthpieces are running the same direction. Okay, she's making sure of that. Okay, what's next? And then we're supposed to do, ooh, quite a wide mark. Right, because this does get wedged. And then, so that is parallel to the mouth of the bag. Okay, so this side. So it needs to be, she does 10 centimeters in. Again, we've got a smaller bag, so I'm only going to do 8. Yeah, I'm going to do 8. And I'm also going to open this up on this side because it's high. Then it's going to be flat when I'm working on it. Come on, open up. Yeah, there you go. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay, 8 cm. Go right there, and then basically it's, yeah, so we're creating a wedge with this. Hello. What was that about? Instagram. Okay. 8 cm. And then it's supposed to match up this way, like that. Okay. Ding. Okay, and then we'll do the other side, and we're going to do 8 again. Make sure these are like lined up so that, because this is a nice square bag. Come on, Katie. You can get it together to do this. 8. And we're going to go in here like this. And we're going to go between the two like this. And then we're going to recap the marker like that. And then we're going to open it up. And doom, doom. Oh, is it all 4 sides? There's 2. Oh, okay. She wants you to box all 4 sides. Okay. Okay, cool. We can do that. Makes me glad that I made them a little bit shorter then. Okay. Ding. And ding. And across. Right there. And ding. And here. Ding, ding, ding. And here. Ding, ding, ding. And across. Ding, 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 ding. Excuse me. All right. Okay, now the question becomes... Okay, good. Okay. We're not too far open with our mouth now. Sweet. 1. And... I'm just going in and making sure that, especially where we're stitching here, the parts are open. 2. And what I mean by parts are open is that they are like flat. I know we finger pressed them already, but you know, just to make sure. Okay, 3. And just please don't let the bobbin run out on me right now, because that would be the end of the current sewing session, is if the bobbin ran out right now. Be like, nope. Hands thrown, out of here. Gonna go get my kids. Blah, 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 blah. Be nice to just hopefully finish this bag before I leave the house. I got 5 minutes. We'll see what happens here. Okay. So there's that. Good. Okay. And then she does trim down the 2 mouth sides. Okay. Just a bit. Not much. Like there. Okay. And about there. Okay. Good. Ding. Oh, and then she boxes the... Okay, and then she does a little like rectangle to solidify everything, it looks like. Okay, and then she turns it right side up. Okay, pause. Stop. Stop. Oop. That'll get enough. Okay, and then we'll do the other side here. Like this. Try not to run off the edge. There we go. Oh. My bobbin got angry. Why did my bobbin get angry? who knows? Temperamental bobbins. Don't have a lot of thread on them. Like to create birds' nests. Actually, it might be time to change my needle. Probably time to change my needle. Okay, now she turns it right side out, like this. Okay, 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 okay. Oh, it's so cute. Friggin' adorable. Okay. Look at that. And then, pretty sure she hand sews this part, but I am not a hand sewist. I'm going to trim down some of these threads that are hanging out, footloose and fancy free, being like, hey, I'm here. We see you. Don't worry. Okay, and then I think the handles go in here. Oh my god. Fucking adorable. Okay. Okay, I gotta actually watch this. Okay, I'm gonna make our little hexagon here. Like this. Oh, it's a little stop sign. Yay! Oh, I totally... Jesus, pay attention, Katie. Okay. All those little edges have to fold in. So that's why she wants you to iron them and like have these pressed open, is because then when you go and do this step, they're naturally already folded under. I get it. Okay. Yeah, okay, so she wants them on the sides that have already been like seamed. They go in there in the middle. Now this is the part I think that she actually hand stitches around, but like I said, we're not going to do that. This will be, yeah, this will be top stitch basically. That's what I'll do. A little bit shorter probably on the actual handle. Actually, no, it'll just be a short top stitch basically. Sweet. Okay, so this is super straightforward. Okay, so yeah, so next time I probably will actually go in and iron all of this, because that would mean that this is all like matched up for me already. And it would be a little bit less work in some ways. But for now, for this one, we'll go in and we will... Oh, okay. So the mouth is a little bit wide versus the like placement, but we'll just fold that down a little bit. And we are going to just pin that in place then. Needs a little bit extra holding strength probably. And the other side's going to need the same thing. Ah, man. Okay. But I do actually really have to go. So I'll finish up just shy. All right. Don't put pins in your mouth. Don't put pins in your mouth. Oh, I see. She hand bastes it together. That's what she does. Okay. That's what she's doing. We're not going to do that either. Okay, so. Okay, so what's going to happen next is I will go in and we're going to fold all of this underneath to match. And then we're going to throw the, like this. Yeah, oh my goodness, this is flippin' adorable. I'm so excited to get it finished. There's a little bit of a hiccup in the corner here, but of course there is probably always going to be a little bit of a hiccup in the corner here. That's fine. There we go. Go to this side. Get these pushed in here. And the final thing I do need to do this week, actually, yeah, we'll do those on Friday. So we need to do a rework of a big bag. And then I have a prototype of the custom order that someone wants that I need, that I was supposed to do the accordion pouch for, but I finally decided, I'm like, no, it's just not coming together. It was something that was requested at Knit City last year, and the timeline has taken too long for me to get it sorted out. So we'll go in and we discussed the new version that they would be happy with. And so I'm going to go in and prototype that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine because it's pretty straightforward. And I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. But we'll still do that as well as a prototype first, and then make it with the actual fabric because, hi, it's the super cute Mofusand. And then that'll release the rest of that fabric to the general populace as well, which will be fun. I can probably do something special with it here soon. Definitely in time for Knit City. I like how I'm like, I gotta go, but let's like just do all of the pinning and like make yourself bleed before you go get your children. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna put that just past that seam allowance in here. Perfect. And then, like I said, we'll go in and she hand basted everything together, which is super smart. Yeah, no, not happening. We'll just deal with the top stitching around. But it is friggin' adorable. Super excited for this. I love how I'm going to just like curse myself for this many pins when I actually go to sew it, because hi, it's a lot of pins. I could have clipped it. I don't know why I didn't. At least I could have clipped the majority of it, so. Oh well, whatever, it's fine. Anyway, so here is the general idea of what this is going to look like when it's finished. Super freaking adorable. Next time I will lift the opening up by a 1/2 inch. It could use an extra 1/2 inch, but that's okay. This is the experiment one. I'm still super pleased with how that looks. But that will be the one adjustment I make for the next round. And yeah, I'll chat with you guys all tonight. We'll finish the top stitching on this, and then we'll move on to these mini travelers that I have to do. Same bat place, and I will post a link when I actually am going live on Instagram. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic